All right, we got Victor Concepcion. I actually said it right, and thank you for your time. I know you're a very busy man.
Tom, thanks for having me here.
Sure. Hanging out with Hulk Hogan, Ronnie Coleman.
Ooh, yeah. Let me tell you something, brother.
Do the voice.
Let me tell you something, brother. When I picked up Andre the Giant in front of 93,000 fans in the Pontiac Silverdome.
I would say that was 100% on.
That was close. That was good.
Yeah. So now, did you grow up here?
Yes, I did. Born and raised, West Palm native.
The whole time?
Whole time.
And then you went to Florida State?
Went to FSU. Was there kind of like a Van Wilder-ish, good 6-7 years. Some say 8, but we're going to go with 7. And from there, I was actually going to move to Atlanta. I was going to be a financial banker. I got a job with Wachovia, Wells Fargo at the time. Somehow they missed it on my resume that I was bilingual. And by the time I was actually going to move to Atlanta, they said, sorry, Vic, we're sending you to Miami. So I never got the opportunity to move out of state. I've traveled out of the state, but never got a chance to actually live out of the state. And my family's here, so it's worked out very well. So here I am.
Obviously, it's worked out pretty good for you, right?
Right.
So what else did you do? Jeez. When did you start the event planning?
Well, I was selling insurance for quite a while, and then a few changes were made. I guess the Obamacare came along, and the middleman agent got penalized in their commission structures. So I needed to find other ways to generate income. And also at the same time, I was spending a lot of money on leads that just weren't panning out for me. So I figured the only way I could create real-time leads is to create some awesome events. I had a good following with people doing events, helping people out at the time, and gaining a lot of experience. I had a lot of experience at Florida State. I mean, little did I know that even I was doing event planning then, and I figured why not? I'd seen other people do it. I got to, help out, like I said, and then I decided to do it on my own. And I got lucky. It was all timing. I started off doing my first event was I did a fashion show in front of 300 people right here in City Tower and South City Tower, and that worked out very well. And then from there, I did a pageant for a poker company. And that was amazing. I mean, I pretty much did a lot of recruiting. I got a lot of the Hooters International, a lot of Tropic Beauty, Hawaiian Tropics. I got the very best of the best to enter this pageant. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, to be honest with you, how competitive it is.
Yeah.
And of course, in their minds, a lot of these girls, they know each other, so they think, the event is rigged to some degree, but it wasn't. I mean, I think we had one young lady, she ended up being the Royal Flush girl for the World Poker Tour.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, Victor. What is Royal Flush?
It was just these modeling girls, I guess the representatives, the model representatives of the World Poker Tour.
Oh, okay.
And they're all over TV. And I remember one of them, she didn't win our contest, but I remember on the phone with her at Publix in Lauderdale trying to convince her to enter this contest because she was so knowledgeable in poker, and I thought it was right up her alley. And then she ended up being like the face of the WPT. So,
and she still is, right?
I think she still is, or if not, she's moved on to do other and better things. But yeah, I mean, doing that event really catapulted me to getting in front of the right people, and then I ended up working with a nutritional group that represented Ronnie Coleman at the time. And God, I mean, the guy's just his hands, one of the biggest guys I've ever come across.
And how tall is he? I mean, they say he's 6 something, but
yeah, he's like 6'3", 6'4". He's just
wide and huge,
just wide
monster.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, an impressive individual to look at. That's for sure.
And even I think, even on his off season, he still looks crazy.
Yeah, constantly working out.
And then Hulk Hogan, what'd you do with Hulk Hogan?
Hogan, let me tell you something, brother. He was awesome to work with. He had a nutritional bar that he was out going to launch, and it was a private event for 300 people in Delray Beach. And I was the guy that spearheaded the whole thing. And he was just a really good person to work with. I mean, he was awesome with all the fans that were there that attended. He made sure he signed everyone's autograph. Anything you brought, he worked with everybody. I mean, and he had a saying, well, actually the whole, I picked up Andre the Giant, so I was a big wrestling fan, I watched WrestleMania 3. Yeah.
And remember The Rock?
Yeah. Well, The Rock says.
Yeah.
Do you like pancakes, Tommy?
Yeah. I used to die when I was a kid watching that.
Oh, man. I actually entered a contest in Clearwater and almost won it, Rock Impressions. I remember one time I just went like this. And that was it. Fans are chanting Rocky, Rocky, Rocky.
The Rock is cooking.
Finally, The Rock says. I forgot. Oh, man, The Rock is cooking. If you smell it loud, because The Rock is cooking.
The eyebrow, too.
I had that eyebrow way before Dwayne Johnson. I had that cooking back in 6th grade.
And he's killing it now.
He's crushing it, man. He's,
What did he just sign? He just signed something.
He's doing Black Adam right now. He's about
Black.
to take over DC Comics.
That's what it was. DC.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine that paycheck.
Yeah, seriously.
But big investment, though, right?
Very big.
But it'll pay off.
He came to Florida State a few times. Obviously, he played for the Hurricanes, but whenever he did any house shows, he would always come around and he'd come after the show was over and greet all the fans and give them a little, hey, you guys are awesome, have the hottest girls.
So he was actually cool, too?
Yeah, super cool then,
Yeah, I had heard mixed stories about him. So.
Well, he was at least nice to the fans.
Yeah.
But yeah, an amazing person. But going to Hogan actually when I got my chance to really hang out with Hulk Hogan, Terry Boulay, I asked him. I said, "Hey, Hogan, I noticed that every time he said, I body slam Andre the Giant, he's always, increasing the numbers, cooking it basically."
Yeah.
I'm like, you do know that there's not 100,000 fans at the Pontiac Silver. It's like, so why do you just keep jacking it up? He goes, because I can, brother. And he said it in such a way that I was kind of like, you know what? Kind of like that. I go, so now in my hashtags, I would say because I can,
Yeah.
But it's always because of that conversation I had with him. Because just the way he said it, it's because I can, brother. And I was just like, all right, yeah.
That's awesome.
You can.
When you're talking to him regularly, does he say the brother thing?
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
He talks just like he's in character, like just,
He's 24/7.
He's 24/7 Hogan.
And he just went through that. Well, at the time, I think then, or 3 years ago, he went through that hell with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
What a mess that was.
Yeah, and then he got a lot of scrutiny. He said a few things he shouldn't have said or in the past. And
who cares?
Yeah. I mean, he's pop culture icon. I mean, he's one of the best.
Yeah.
I mean, you think of the 80s, you think of Hulk Hogan, of one of,
Yeah. And then I think right around that time his kid got in the car crash too.
Mm-hmm.
Man, lose your wife, the media's after, and then your kid gets in a crash.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
How's that kid doing now?
After that, I don't know, to be honest. But you know what? Ironically, it's WrestleMania weekend, so it's in Tampa. It's in his backyard, and he's one of the co-hosts. So kudos to him. The way the whole circle has come around for him. From where he was to the issues, and now coming back around to being the host again. So
what was the on the wrestling? What was the one when they were wearing black? They were wearing black
when he was Hollywood Hogan, the NWO.
NWO, that's what it was called.
NWO.
That's right.
Remember NWO?
The whole Wolf Pack.
Yeah.
It's just too sweet.
That's right.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Dude, Hollywood Hogan was awesome. So I was actually in Daytona when he turned. When he turned heel, that is something that you will never forget. Like, I knew exactly. We were like, I'd say 20 rows back. I was in Daytona with a couple fraternity brothers. And I had a feeling he was going to turn heel. I just had this feeling that, it's the unthinkable. It's going to happen. There's, obviously it was Hall and Nash, and I think it was Sting, Macho Man, and Luger. And they were all wondering, if one of those guys was going to turn, But I kept saying, just something in the air is telling me Hogan's going to come out. And he came out. And it was the way he came out that told me he was turning heel, because when he comes out running to beat your butt. He just came out with the chair just walking. I said, oh, man, he's turning. And when he smacked Randy Savage, boy, I've never seen so many people get so upset. Kids crying. I had a white shirt on. Yeah. That shirt was drenched with Coca-Cola, beer. I mean, it was insane. Yeah. And these kids were just crying and crying. I mean, booing. Parents were upset. I mean, it was amazing. And even on my ride back from Daytona to Tallahassee at the time, I'm sitting there with my fraternity brothers, and we're just like in shock. We're like, man, that just really happened. Like, he just turned heel. I was like, people throwing beer at him. Like, it was unreal.
You're throwing beer at him?
Oh, my God. That whole ring, if you ever YouTube it, that whole ring is full of confetti, trash, cans, water bottles. I mean, yeah, they drenched him the whole time. And he, of course, it was amazing how he just powered through it. Poor mean Gene Oakland. He's interviewing him the whole time. He's just taking hits and hits and hits.
I remember seeing clips of it. And it seemed to me like he didn't care.
He didn't care.
He just stayed in motion.
Yeah, he went off. He was having fun.
Yeah,
I liked heel Hogan for a while, but
heel Hogan.
Yeah, it was good.
It's so funny because it just reminds you when you were a kid,
Oh yeah,
flying around all the time. When you were doing the insurance, how bad did that Obamacare mess things up?
It really did because he basically put everybody in one big pool risk, one risk pool. Basically, that was it. I mean, you're a male, you're paying for pregnancy, you're paying for riders you normally don't have. So he really, really messed it up for a lot of people. Yes, it helps out the people that are in need, the ones that aren't making enough money. But if you're making a lot of money, you shouldn't be getting penalized. You shouldn't be the one having to pay. Like you get car insurance, you understand, okay, if I have 20 tickets and I'm getting pulled over all the time, okay, my insurance is going to be high. Right. All right, I accept that and I'm good with it. But all the others have a clean record to be in that same risk pool. And that's what Obama did. I mean, I agree that we should all have insurance, but not like that. You gotta,
How do you think about the way that Canada does it? They're pretty much Obamacare, right?
Yeah.
I
mean, you still have to kind of be like a VIP and pay a little bit more premium. You have to pay something just to be that VIP. At least I know that's how they do it in Europe.
Yeah.
Where you might get that health care, you're paying a little more in gas here and there. But, if something happens to you, you want to leapfrog that list. Well, you got to pay because, everybody else gets
So it all equals out, basically. Like in Europe, like every little bit, the gas goes towards it. That Monster drink goes towards it. The whatever it is. Every little bits and pieces go towards it rather than me because I have a job and make whatever. Now I got to pay for everything else crazy. And then keep your own doctor. That had to have killed you.
Correct. Man, seriously. It was bad. I mean, commission structures went, down the toilet. It was bad.
Now, what do you think they were thinking when they drew that up? Just from like an insurance person's point of view.
It's hard to say. I don't really have an answer for that because I just think they didn't care. I think that, you cut out the middleman, basically, and it's just you the insurance company have to absorb now all these guaranteed issued people, so where are you going to cut your costs? You've got to absorb a lot of, people with pre-existing conditions. So here comes the agent, and just take off his commissions and maybe it was worth it, but at the end of the day, I get so many people that come to me that, still don't understand the policies. The policies that are available now are crap. They are. I mean, unless you can qualify for a subsidy, then I'm able to find you that unicorn plan, which I have for some of my friends.
Yeah.
I found some of the best plans out there, but you know what? If you're making over 60, 70K, you can't find that policy at all.
Yeah.
And some of these policies don't even have a deductible, and you're off here making all this money and you got that $5,000 to $7,000 deductible.
Yeah, that's what I hated about it. I think I had Humana, and it was like, okay, the plan looked great, but I had to drop 10K before it even kicked in.
Yep.
So I'm just dropping, $700 a month for what? Okay, I got to spend 10K to get anything. I mean, I guess it's good if you.
I mean, the alternative plan, if you're healthy, there's short-term plans. United Healthcare offers those. They're one of the best ones. They're limited in the day-to-day stuff, and it covers for the hospitalization and surgery. Yes, your deductibles, you can afford the $1,000 deductible, the $2,500.
Yeah.
And those, but again, for males, that's a more ideal plan. If you don't want to pay that, if you're paying $700 a month, well, come talk to me. You're a female. You're going to probably use the policy a little more. All right. It depends on, understanding the policy, knowing, okay, well, I have X amount of visits, and if I go past that, then I'll probably be out of pocket. Well, yeah, you will, but, you'll probably get a discount for those visits versus paying for it outright.
Oh,
So
I didn't know that there was a difference between male and female. I didn't know.
Well, there isn't. So the plan's going to read the way it is, but technically, females are going to use the policy more than males. That's just how it is.
I see what you're saying.
So for a female, a short-term plan, if they're super healthy and they're going once a year for their checkups and, they're not crazy and they don't need to take pills,
That's about 2.
Yeah, so
about 2 out of 100.
Then this is the plan for you. Yeah. Susie, you told me you were never going to use this, But if not,
Susie, you told me you're never going to use this.
but
lock her in a fucking bathroom.
Yeah. So, but if not, then these plans again, you have to understand how they work. Limited in the day-to-day stuff, but very rich and do the same exact thing that any other PPO plan does. So, but of course, you have to be super healthy. You can't have any health issues.
Yeah,
so
I have a lot of doctor friends, and they hated it. They weren't into the insurance part of it, but they hated it because they'd be so packed. packed with people left and right. They couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
And it just screwed a lot of people.
It has. I mean, because now, and of course, you have another waiting periods for that too.
Yeah.
I mean, you get sick or something's wrong with me, come see me in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, I might be dead in 3 weeks.
Yeah. I'm having chest pains and short of breath. Come in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Great. I'm 96, sir. Come in 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Next thing you know, you're on the, crazy.
Yep.
Now, what the hell did you do at the Super Bowl? Me and Rob are big football guys, so we were all excited to ask you about this.
Well, I was I worked for the Hard Rock Stadium, so at the same time I was able to get on the Super Bowl committee. I was on the host committee, so I was handling the logistics with like 12 other people.
Man.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
we basically had to operate Bayfront Park, which I give high props to the people that do ultra there because or when they were doing it there, because it's a huge undertaking. I mean the square footage, it's amazing. There's just tons of real estate to operate. So we had Super Bowl live. They had Super Bowl experience. Very family. Both experiences are family oriented, but we had one indoors and one outdoors. So we handled all of it. Making sure that we had all the volunteers do what they were supposed to be doing. Obviously, the teams visiting, the mascots, football players. There's different activations that required players to be there. So then, of course, at the stadium itself, working the guest experience section was pretty cool because my job basically was just to escort, whenever there was a celeb, just escort them to where they needed to go. Other than greeting and then doing my job of making sure people weren't supposed to be getting it in, but.
Give me 5 of the coolest celebrities that you got to walk in.
Adriana Lima was my crush, and she looked amazing. I mean, she was in person. Yeah, she looked amazing. I got to meet Cardi B. Now, Cardi B's man, I got to tell you, man, this guy. I mean, his cologne must have been made of weed because it's just, we must have walked a few minutes. And it just never stopped. It was just consistent. Like it was just
like it was like Lionel from
seriously.
Charlie Brown.
Like what is this? What is this guy on? Like I mean, it just was constantly like following us. Like, and I can't believe you're walking through a lot of security and cops and stuff, and they're like, yeah, whatever.
It's Cardi B and her. Who the hell is she with?
I'm not sure.
Who's she with, Rob? The rapper.
Yeah, Migos or something like that.
Yeah, he's the guy Offset.
Offset.
Yeah.
They're all the same. It's all good.
Yeah. Same thing. Yeah.
What are you gonna do? They're all rappers. They smoke weed. I'm not hating.
Yeah, no, I'm not hating either.
I'd be right there with a scoop the loop. Puff give. No, I don't really smoke pot for all those people watching, but it's all good.
So you got Cardi B.
Lady Gaga was pretty cool.
You met Lady Gaga?
Yeah. There was an issue at one of the she was doing a concert and there was a port of Miami and it poured that weekend too and she was complaining about that. So she was super cool. I'm trying to think who else.
She can sing.
She can.
Did you got to see her live, right?
No, I didn't get to see her specifically, but I got to hear her complain about the whole experience.
And that was enough to know.
Yeah, it was. She wasn't happy
about just because of the rain.
Yeah. Here's a tidbit for the Super Bowl. I'll get back to that people don't know. And here's a good thing. Working the game, one of the props was national anthem. So I remember getting to the stadium. They told us we needed to get there like at 6 a.m. or so, whatever. But I knew that the itinerary said that they were going to be doing the little sound checks and stuff like that. So we got to hear. I didn't get to see the person perform, but I got to hear and time it. And then I was like, all right, well, let me check the props, Let's see over, under 120 minutes or a minute and 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, person did 119, person 110.
That's awesome.
I was like, then I'm calling everybody saying, hey, you might want to take the under. It's going to hit.
Yeah.
The under hit.
Yeah.
So inside information there.
Good move.
So now I'm, for every Super Bowl moving forward, it's like, hey man, whoever's working at the stadium, I got to find out who works there, and that's the.
You got to make the connection.
That's your lock right there.
That's it. That's your lock in.
And well, I'm not taking all credit for that. My buddy worked the San Francisco one, and he called me and told me about it.
Oh,
so then
he gave you the tip.
Yeah, he gave me the tip. So then, I think 2 years later, I was kind of like, oh, this is my lucky day.
Yeah, you should probably give him a kick.
little kickback.
Yeah, a little kickback. And then who else? Give me one more.
Let's see who else I met. J-Lo. I met
J-Lo?
J-Lo a few times.
Was she with A-Rod?
Yeah, yes, she was with A-Rod.
I met A-Rod. He's a big dude.
He is.
His back is like this. Well, it was back in the day. I don't know how he looks now, but
A-Rod's a pretty big boy.
yeah.
I remember when he played shortstop in high school, and he overthrew first baseman for a divisional game. He hates when anybody says this story. A-Rod, you're watching this. But yeah, he overthrew the first baseman, and that team ended up winning the game. Cardinal Newman ended up beating Miami Westminster in the regional at Palm Beach State College. And that guy just laid on his stomach. He cried the entire time. And I mean, hey, he was pretty upset. He had a great team. Everybody else is like, celebrating or in prayer, And,
Yeah.
But I remember just watching him just the whole time, and he just stayed on his stomach, And at the time, he was like, I saw him at a spring training game for the Yankees, and here's a guy making like over 50 mil.
Yeah.
And I brought that up to him, and he wasn't happy.
Yeah. 50 mil. We're not counting the endorsements.
Right.
Yeah.
And he wasn't really happy about that. In fact, he was very colorful with me.
What did he say?
Oh, man. He's like, you typical Palm Beach guys, always bringing that shit up. Ooh, did I say that? Sorry.
Yeah, fuck. Say whatever you want.
He's like, you guys always bring that up, always. He's like, it's it's a game. I said, well, of course it's a game. You lost it,
Yeah.
But but I thought it was great though. Here's this guy making all this money, and we're arguing about it,
Yeah.
which was just which made it kind of cool because I was like, all right,
It makes it fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Who did he lose to?
Cardinal Newman,
Oh, in West Palm?
yeah, West Palm.
All right, I'm going to remember that in case I see A-Rod. He overthrew the first baseman.
So he was playing with the ball, like he was just kind of putting on a show. Now he did put on a show. So when his first at bat, he hit a bomb over the scoreboard, and actually when he played Forest Hill High School, he hit a shot that went over the field to the grass area of the off ramp of 95.
I believe it. I seen him in his prime.
Yeah, this man had power.
That fucking back.
Yeah.
Holy.
And honestly, I was genuinely upset when all that went down because here was a guy that had all this natural gifted ability, and he really didn't need that. He didn't need any performance enhancing. He was just a man. Like he was like a Ken Griffey Jr. Ken Griffey Jr. was so natural, and they both played together, and there was no need for him to go that route. Like he would have got to 600 and 700 on his own. Clearly, I think that whatever he did was what ended up causing all those injuries towards the end of his career. But the man had it all in front of him, and just it's pretty unfortunate.
He did. He had the body. He had the genetics. He had the eye, and I think. He started slow, and then he started doing more and more and more, and then he probably was lifting too heavy, pulled one thing, swing the bat, you're fucked. I mean, it's over. But he didn't. But you're right, he didn't need it. I mean, I know in the beginning he was taking HGH, and that was it. And whatever, that's all he needed. But then he started going to this other shit, and other shit, and other shit. Long story. And he blew up, and I believe that if he wouldn't have done that, I don't think he would have got injured. I mean, I think he probably would have had 5 more good years than he had.
He had it. He had it all in front of him. Like I said, he was one of the few players that I was genuinely upset when the news broke out. I was like, man, because I really thought he was going to break the record on his own. Just stay out of trouble, A-Rod. Don't do anything dumb.
Jose Canseco, that rat.
That guy, man, seriously.
What a rat.
Seriously, why would you do that? How's he alive?
That's a very good question. All the people he took down.
Seriously.
Meanwhile, he's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not like he was sitting there eating M&Ms.
Yep.
I guess he got jealous.
Yeah, I mean, just for
jealousy and envy.
Yep.
Because he never got as popular as the other guys.
All he needed, I think, was like 4 more home runs, and he would have been there to at least be considered a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I think. But yeah.
I'll never forget during that time period though when I saw Barry Bonds, and remember he used to have like a thin face, and then it went like this.
Yep.
And he started rocking balls like
yeah,
crazy.
Barry was super skinny when he played for Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
and then he gets to San Fran, all of a sudden you can't even recognize the guy.
You couldn't recognize. And now Sammy Sosa's like white guy or something now.
What did he do, the Michael Jackson?
Yeah, he did like the Michael Jackson move, right?
He looks white.
See if you could pull him up. Me and him talk. You'll die when you see it. You haven't seen it?
Really? No.
No, he's like a white guy.
And Barry Bonds, probably one of the best hitters.
Yeah. And again, another natural guy.
Natural.
That was a beast without the shit.
Right. because hitting the ball, it's all hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
You get the mass on you, some power. Okay, it'll do some more, but it really comes down to you can be big all you want, but if you don't have that hand-eye coordination, forget it. There's no point.
And I think the worst of the three is McGuire because he had that build. He was tall. He didn't need that shit.
He didn't need it either. Yeah.
No, he was a big boy too, and he could hit.
Yep.
That like these guys, it's one thing if you're getting crushed, and you're the little guy and you need it. These guys didn't need any of this shit.
Yeah, they didn't need it. I mean, they put on one heck of a story.
It was fun to watch though, baseball. When they were rocking the balls out of the park, that was fun to watch.
Yeah, I was watching that. I finally watched the ESPN 30 for 30 on Sammy and McGuire, and wow,
Yeah.
I completely forgot how it ended up. Oh my God!
Look at him.
Wow.
So he went from the guy on the left, Vic, to the guy on the right,
Yeah. Crazy. That's insane.
and that's probably not even a good pitcher. I mean,
Now, what is that? Is that a skin disorder? How do you get like that? How does that happen?
I don't know.
I think you got to get treatment for that, right?
Seriously.
I mean, because if it was a skin disorder, I would think it would be blotchy.
Right.
That's not blotchy.
No.
Wow.
I heard he's a good dude.
Oh, he might be a good dude, but he's a little weird.
Yeah, he's I didn't party with him directly, but I was with a group of people that partied. We all were together at the Raleigh and South Beach. Got to meet him.
Did
Super
you?
nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you do if you saw him now? What would you say? What's up, Samantha?
Yeah. I'd be like, yo, Casper, what's going on?
Have you been to Antarctica lately?
Yeah.
Just got stuck out there or
I
something?
mean, what happened to you? Did COVID get you? Like,
Yeah. Is this what the new strain of COVID does? Fuck, I'm not leaving my house. 2 masks, 2 gloves, you got me.
Exactly.
And then you also did MMA. You
Yes.
did ringside announcement.
Yeah, so we have a local group here, Rise Championship Fighting. My good buddy Armando Gonzalez, he owns it, and along with Ken, and great people to work with. And they put on some great events. They go from regular amateurs to pros. So he gave me the ability to, an opportunity to get in the ring and do some ring announcing. The little red corner, blue corner. Announce the winners and get the crowd excited, and just put some energy into it.
Again,
And
congratulations.
Thank you. And it's an awesome feeling to be in that octagon.
Yeah.
It truly is. You get in there, the spotlight, everything. I can see where you can turn into that character. If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great feeling. There's like,
How do these guys take those hits?
oh, they do.
I don't know. I mean, when you box, you drop. These guys I don't know how they take these hits and kicks. I don't know how they get up.
A lot of adrenaline.
I mean, you've seen it firsthand. I've just seen it on TV.
It's definitely, I mean, you got to have some serious conditioning to take those hits. So the sparring and all that they do probably. I know I wasn't ring announcing for the last event that they did, but the one prior to that, it was so humid that these wrestlers, these fighters were basically, they were slipping and falling. So the other fighters were watching and they were gauging themselves like, all right, well, kind of like, where do I need to be? How do I need to move? They had extra preparation needed to go into it while they're outside waiting, because now you've got this other variable that you're not accounting for, which is humidity and just constant ring being wet. We had people coming in with towels and trying to dry everything off, and just to the best of our their abilities. But that was also you 1 second you're kicking, and next thing you know you've got the advantage, and then you slip, and now the other person has it.
Yeah.
So the conditions weren't really the best for that one, but as the fight was progressing, the card itself, the whole entire card, then things got a little better for the fighters. But it's pure adrenaline. I mean, you got your camp behind you supporting you. I mean,
They must take practice. They must practice getting punched in the head.
I mean,
you would have to be able to get up from some. I mean, some of these kicks and hits that these guys get. I mean, I don't care who you are, you're not getting up.
when you're there and you hear it, I mean, when you hear that sound, it's for real. When you hear that crowd go, oh, it's like, okay, yeah.
Now, how do you think it is now with nobody in the audience? I mean, that's gotta kill.
Well,
do you think that affects sports a lot? I would think it would, because there's nobody there cheering you.
I think to some degree, well, believe it or not, the last two events that Rise has done had people, But yes, when you don't have that extra push, You know, that's just how motivated are you going to be? I mean, you know, it's just in any sport, really.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean anything. Yeah, I mean, it seems like they're starting to loosen up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well,
know?
Texas had 40,000 fans for.
Well, Texas doesn't give a fuck. Texas is like, here, they don't give a fuck.
But yeah, like if we on neutral court, then it really comes down to, you know, how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no excuses. You can't say, oh well, you know, I was you know on the visitor side and here it was.
I slipped and fell and blah 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 blah, and I got beat.
Exactly. So.
And then you got the Wheels Wings.
Yes, we got the Wheels, Wings, and Fashion. It's a charity hanger event. It's our 3rd annual. Would have been 4th, but you know, COVID kind of changed those plans. It's actually next Saturday at the Signature Flight Support in Boca Raton, and we need more followers and following.
It's this here, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. That's a badass sheep.
Yeah. I wish I had better pictures to show you.
Yeah, any links that you want in, I'll put in. Oh, is that a DeLorean from like Back to the Future? That's what it looks like, right?
It's a Lambo.
I had a Gallardo.
We have our website, wheelswingsfashion.com.
Yeah. Okay, wheelswingsfashion.com.
And this charity event, oh, you know what it is? Yeah, you got to put an S there.
That's a nice site.
And this is our video. This is from 2 years ago. So this event benefits the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society and the George Snow Scholarship Fund. In the past, it also benefited Habitat for Humanity. And the first year we did it, the 3rd recipient was the Stoneman Douglas when they had the shootings.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. And you can just buy tickets right there?
Yes, you can. Right now the tickets are $125 for individual and $200 for couples. So
that's not bad.
Not bad at all. I mean, you know, try to make it reasonable. It's a great night of a lot of incredible jets, exotic cars. We're gonna have powerboats, helicopters.
Oh, it's awesome.
A lot of incredible food, open bar. A lot of awesome activations. This event, if you're someone who wants to promote your business, it's the perfect event to do so because we recognize, you know, the importance of giving you that wow factor to kind of stick out. So every area within the hangar, so it's a 10 by 10, so it's a 30,000 square foot hangar, but each area is 10 by 10, so to speak. And then we have also the outside part of the hangar, which is probably another additional 25 to 30,000. So we have a lot of real estate to work with.
Yeah.
But as far as, you know, being a sponsor, you know, like there's tons of real estate to create whatever you'd like to best represent your company. And then, of course, depending on the sponsorship level, you'll also get a lot of perks that come with it. So we're pretty excited for this year. Last year, we hit a home run every year, but last year was probably going to be one of the greatest ones ever. This one's shaping out to be one of the best in our short little run. But last year, we were going to do a Casino Royale theme, going to do a James Bond theme. And,
that would have been badass.
And what was amazing was that, you know,
badass,
James Bond movie was going to come out 2 weeks before our hangar. So it was going to work out to be an amazing event.
Yeah.
We even had Roberto Cavalli agree to do the show. We had to pay him a lot of money.
Wow.
So he was going to do the fashion show because we do have the fashion portion of this event.
You were going to give Cavalli?
Yeah.
Oof.
And then, of course, COVID came and we couldn't do it. Then we were going to try to do it in October. A different version of the event, still Wheels, Wings, and Fashion, but we're going to have to eliminate the casino portion of it just because of
the restrictions and everything else.
So this event itself is approved by the Boca Airport Authority for 350 people.
Wow.
Yeah, and we are 80% sold out. So
if you
again,
want your tickets, you better get them now.
Exactly, it's a hot ticket, and but the great thing is for anybody that is concerned about social distancing, this and that, this event naturally practice social distancing because when you attend the event, there's everything is spread out. You got the jets, you got the cars, the food stations. I mean, everything is spread out. I mean, when you get your food, you're not touching it yourself. Someone else is handing it to you, So we were doing things kind of social distancing before they made it a thing, so to speak. Now the only difference is that at the end of the event or when we get to the actual program part of it, everybody gets to around the stage or seats. That's when you would not be, looked at as social distancing, So that's it. So with this event, we had to basically, things are going to be a little bit more spaced out. We got to, do the things proper.
Yeah, you got to do the thing.
Yeah.
And, are they making you put mask on everybody?
Well, the masks are allowed, to get in. You need it to get in. It's required. And then once you're in, I mean, if you'd like to take them off, you can. And if you want to keep it on, then,
And can kids come to this?
No.
You just keep it
It's adults. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just asking to try to help you out.
Yeah, no.
I think
it's not kid friendly.
Yeah.
No. Even though there's really nothing, I guess you could have kids. I mean, I guess we could have an incredible bounce house. And,
Throw them in the bounce house. And
yeah.
That looks awesome, though.
But it's an amazing night. We have live auction items. We have silent auction items. For the last couple of years,
look at that fucker. They only made so many of them, right?
True.
Go back down to right there. What's that called, Vic? That doesn't matter. They only made they only made like 50 of them.
That's a beautiful falcon on the back over there. That red plane.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that picture
like
picture was from year one, but it's such an amazing picture.
Yeah, that looks like a really awesome event. And
yes,
it goes for a good cause too.
Yes, it is. Like I said, it's for Leukemia Lymphoma Society. So this year we have Chelsea Whaley. She's a Woman of the Year candidate, so it'll go to her campaign, and then the George Snow Scholarship Fund, which is one of the more prestigious funds across the country.
And what is that fund? That's a stronger fund toward the leukemia?
No, George Snow is completely separate.
Oh, is it?
So,
okay.
Yeah, if you're wanting to be like a nurse or a doctor, that's the kind of scholarship fund you want.
Oh, okay.
Or scholarship that you want to get,
Yeah.
So, and it's local in Boca. So it's based in Boca Raton. Everything we do is local. The support that we get, everything is Boca driven. But then, of course, we have people that come from Miami. We come people from Wellington.
Yeah.
People from Jupiter. So we get it from everywhere.
No, this looks awesome. I mean, it really does.
It truly is a great event. There's no question.
And you organize all this?
Myself, Nick Castellano, and Alex Cowton. So us three, we've been working on this for quite a while. I mean, it's kind of surreal. It's been a very stressful past 2 weeks, but because of where we were with COVID and not being able, to see if it was going to happen, and then to now get it approved and now rework on it again, and now here we are. It's amazing. I honestly didn't think they were going to approve us for that many people. I really didn't. I was trying to do other events with large numbers, and I was getting turned down. And, it wasn't wearing on me. I didn't really take it like insulting because I get it,
But still, I mean.
But when you're doing events, okay, I was kind of like, all right, well, I had to meet before the board of commissioners, and thank you for letting this happen. But I didn't think that they were going to approve the amount. I sat for 3 days, just in my room, just going over CDC protocols, like how we're going to do the event, putting it all together, in case I got questioned. I wanted to be ready, and we were very blessed. Here we are. We're
generous. Dude.
We're gonna party for a purpose, and we're gonna make a big difference on Saturday of the 17th. So
now, when you get this in your head, this event, or you're gonna do it from beginning to end, minus the COVID, how much time do you think you have to put into it to get all this set up between the three of you guys?
Really 6 months.
That's not too bad. That's actually moving.
Some of it's very easy because of the existing relationships we already have with certain groups, and of also being familiar with the venue itself. But 6 months in regards to working with new people, getting new sponsors on board. We've been very blessed. We've had some repeated sponsors for the last 3 years, almost 4. But overall, when we start really talking, and our my text thread is just loaded with wings, wheels, and fashion. It's a good 6 months.
That's actually pretty quick for what you're doing, though.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you do have the networking, I mean, to get everything lined up, how you're going to do this, how you're going to do that, I mean.
Yeah, we've been fortunate. We've had some really good partnerships. One of them is with Supercars Weeks. In fact, this whole weekend of next weekend is Supercar Weekend 2021.
Yeah.
So they unfortunately weren't able to do their waterway event back in January. So they moved it to April. We got lucky where we got the event approved, and when we did it, we had it in mind to do it, on the 17th. They had their waterway on the 18th. We spoke with Neil London, and voila, next thing you know, we're part of the Supercars Weekend, so we partnered with them. And Friday, we're doing a little VIP for our sponsors, and then Saturday, you have the hangar event, and then Sunday, you have the waterway event. So, You can also go to Supercars Week, and you can check out their website, and they have like all the information. I think the Waterway event is free, I believe. You know, oh no, you do have to pay for it. You can go on the website and check and see.
And what website's that?
I believe it's supercars.com, supercarsweek.com.
Okay, you'll text it to me.
Yeah.
And I can put everything in the description for tomorrow.
Yeah. And Neil and Tom Clark, they do an amazing job. And Tim, they all do a great job. So we worked with them. They've helped us out a lot. You know, put together some of these deals with a lot of these car groups. So it's going to be good. I mean, you're going to have a little bit of everything. I mean, we're going to, like I said, we have power boats this year. We have helicopters, your exotic cars.
Power boats are cool to watch.
Yeah.
You don't think they're that cool until you watch them, and they're cool as hell to watch.
Oh, you can hear them from a mile away.
Yeah, it's like a crotch rocket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, so this event's going to be there we are. Our good friends at Supercar Week. So very excited to be partnered up with them. I know they're very happy to have this event happen. I mean, you know what? At the end of the day, it's about getting these events to where they were. Having people want to be out. People want to do things.
Yeah.
I mean, I do the brunches over at Polo, you know, and we're about to finish our season. We got 2 weeks left of our brunch season, and there's a lot of restrictions there. You know, of course, you have to put them in place. But what I find is, despite the restrictions, you know, we're selling out every week. People want to be there. Yeah, the experiences are not going to be what they used to be for now for a lot of events, but it doesn't matter. You know, as long as you're with, you know, when you're going somewhere to these events, you're pretty much going to be with those people the entire time. That's really what it comes down to. Our event, yeah, you can have a little bit more freedom. But for a lot of other events, if you're buying a ticket, you're going to a concert, these concerts that are coming out now, you're just with your group. It's not like you can just walk around and do what you want to do. You know, there are restrictions. But hey, you're going to be as good as your group is, and that's great. You know, and again, people don't care. They're like, all right, we just want to kind of live our lives. We want to do some things that we were used to doing. And sometimes for some people, hey, they can afford it. Others, you know, hey, they'd rather just sit at home. It's fine. You know, I mean, you know your limitations. You know what this virus can do and not do at this point, or at least to some degree. And I can respect that. You know, people can. You know, I haven't been shamed publicly or social media at all. You know, when I talk to people and they ask me, hey, you know, how's business been for you? I haven't. I went through March through May where I wasn't doing any events, and then I was doing stuff under the table, and I became a guerrilla marketing machine. But I wasn't posting it online. I wasn't doing any of that.
Right.
When people go, man, your business must have hurt. It did for 3 months, but after that, it never stopped. October, it just even exploded. And then when I do talk to some people, and they're like, wow, you really were doing it that long? Yes, I have. It's just, you know, I mean, if you're going to get sick, it's going to be at your own risk. And, you know, we make sure that, you know, we don't want sick people and be responsible. You know, if you're not feeling well, stay home. If you think you had it, get tested. If you had it and you start feeling good, stay home anyways. Do the right thing. Don't because you feel okay after 2-3 days and, you know, oh, I can go back out again and do. No, you can't, because you're going to get somebody else sick. Yeah. And that person, you know, and on and on. But besides that, you know, again, my events have been fun. A lot of them have been, for the most part, open outside. I do a few things indoors, but for the most part, everything's outside. So, I mean, you can't really shame me.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think if you want to walk out that door, you know the risk, right?
Absolutely.
So if you want to walk out and you're worried about getting sick, well, if you walk out, you're the one who's taking the risk. If you want to stay home and stare at the TV, then stay home and stare at the TV. But I don't think that you should have to stay home, have to close your business.
Right.
You know, it just kills too much small business.
I mean, Florida's showing it. I mean, people can say all they want across the country, but we seem to be doing a good job.
And we are God's waiting room.
Yes.
If anybody watching this doesn't know, we are God's waiting room. All the old people moved down here, and we have one of the best rates that there is.
Yeah.
And we're not really locked down other than right out here.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's
crazy.
We've been blessed. We've been blessed with you know, a great governor. Yeah. And also here in Palm Beach County, you know, our commissioners, our mayors, they've done the right thing. I've sat in some of those meetings, you know, on Tuesdays, and they've done a wonderful job. They've studied, they've seen everything. They realize, all right, well, what are we going to really accomplish by shutting things down or keeping things locked, you know, on lockdown or a curfew?
Yeah.
Who are we really hurting?
Yeah.
I mean, so you know, and thank you to them because of them, they've also allowed to make sure that all these businesses stay afloat, because we would be in serious trouble.
Well, they fought for the business and the people. Because it goes both ways.
Yep. Well, it pays to have a governor that's all about tourism.
Yeah.
So he's all about it. He's no shame in that.
Yeah.
And he'll do whatever it takes, No passports for vaccines, and just the man's aggressive. Hey, everybody started getting a vaccine April 5th, a few days ago, from 18 and up. I mean, great. At that point now, you can start establishing a herd immunity. And hopefully, in my opinion, by August, Florida should be in a really, really good position.
Would you take the vaccine right now?
No. No, and it's not because of like conspiracy theories or
Yeah.
I'm a person in the middle, in the sense of I'm registered independent. I look at both sides. I mean, I honestly voted Democrat for a good 10 years, 12, 15, 16 years, and then the last 8 years I've gone red. But a lot of it had to do because of my job, I actually voted for Obama the first time around. But then once I saw what happened, with my insurance and how everything just went to the toilet.
I voted for him the first time because he was such a smooth talker, boy.
Yeah. He's so articulate. His delivery was perfect.
Perfect.
If he wanted me to walk like a dog, I'd walk like a dog,
I mean, he was just...
Or bark like a dog.
Remember that the first time he ran and he'd get on that podium?
Yeah.
He was just so smooth, slick. He could sell ice to a fucking Eskimo with no problem, and then go get more ice and sell more ice to him.
Exactly.
He got me. I voted for him, too.
I voted for him. So.
But after the first one, that was it for me.
Exactly. For me, too. And then for me, it was more financial.
Yeah.
What it was affecting me on a day-to-day basis than anything else.
Because he didn't do anything for business. That was my problem.
Right.
Because I had 3 or 4 businesses at that time, and it was just bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was trying to cut loopholes, and not even loopholes, just trying to cut things to make it harder to be successful. You know what I mean? And then he came with the bullshit where, okay, me and you work 80 hours a week, and the guy sitting on the couch with the bag of chips and his nut huggers, we got to pay for him. You know what I mean? I mean, really.
So true. Yeah. So, I mean, and so to answer your question, I mean, so the way I see it is we're still, even though we know what we're supposed to be doing and not doing, you're still talking about a virus that we still don't know everything about. It obviously allegedly has a lot of variants, but I hear that you can't really test for all these variants. So, but the makeup of this, so we don't know. And now all of a sudden we've created vaccines that's supposed to take care of something that we're not fully understanding of. That to me kind of raises a red flag a little, I mean, naturally it's, this vaccine is just to prevent you from being hospitalized, but it doesn't prevent you from being sick again, Right. So for me personally, I'm going to wait a year, even though my parents took the vaccine, and I understand they want to live their lives. They're at a point where, they put their lives on hold for almost a year. So I get it. But for someone like myself, I'm going to wait a year. I'm going to wait and see what happens. And if it gets to a point where if you're telling me I can't do X, Y, Z, and these are the things I love, then I'll sit down and consider it. But for right now, no, not happening.
I'm with you too, because it's too new.
It's very,
and I know they had to rush it out, and it's good for the older people. And I'm just like you. If you want to take it, go take it. I don't want beta 1.
No.
We always say this with people. I'll take beta 6.
I don't want to be the extras on I Am Legend, okay?
Right. Then they come out with beta 2 and it's perfect, and we could have just waited.
Exactly.
And, I know a bunch of people that got it, and as long as you're healthy and you don't have like a major pre-existing condition, it was just like a bad flu for a week.
Yeah, I mean, it's a respiratory, virus. I mean, which again, I my personal opinion, I feel like, somebody tampered with it, because for it to affect people completely different. I mean, you have a regular, if you have herpes, you have herpes. That's it. Herpes doesn't change. Herpes doesn't have a variant. AIDS doesn't have a variant. I mean, nobody comes to you and says, hey, Tom, well, by the way, that positive that you got in AIDS, well, that was a fake positive. That never happens.
Right.
How does that happen?
Right.
But,
no, it was
Corona. Well, maybe you do, maybe you don't. People passing the first 2 tests and then, not the next 2 tests. I mean, or vice versa.
Or inconclusive.
Inconclusive.
Now, how the fuck then why even give the test if it's going to be You know, remember how many people were saying it was inconclusive?
Yep.
I mean, why even put the test out until you know if it's going to work or not?
It's just
yeah, it's a crazy thing.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy. So now, what'd you do with the art show?
The which show?
You did the Woman in Arts in Miami.
Yeah, that was a really good fashion show.
A big thing.
Yeah, it was down in Miami. It's kind of like they're like mini Oscars.
Yeah,
I
heard all about it. Yeah.
And they were it was the award was for best designer. So they had 4 of the very best designers in Miami, or they lived in Miami, but and I basically got to handle their fashion show, and we were at the Gulfstream and the Gulfstream Casino, I think, or where they have the horse races.
Yeah, they got the tri-call and everything.
Yeah. And the location that we were doing this event really wasn't fashion show friendly at all. I'm walking around with my cell phone. These people are laughing. They're looking around. They're going, "Who's that guy?" And I'm like, "It's the guy that's doing your fashion show." And I just kept walking around. I was like looking, logistically trying to figure it all out. And I was like, all right, there's only one way this is going to work. We're going to need 40 models. In fact, because we couldn't use the same 10 for each one. It just wasn't going to happen, or 12. It's like, we're going to need 40 models. We're going to need at least 12 to 14 makeup artists, and then we need a hairstylist. And then they're like, you're going to bring all those people? And I said, yes, I am. And I did. I made it work. I mean, I brought everybody. We outsourced, a lot of incredible models, and it was an amazing event. I did it on my birthday weekend, so I was like a week. So when we were doing the casting for these models, a dear friend Jason Barber was with me, and he was handling it for me. I was like weekend at Bernie's. I mean, I'm just with my sunglasses, and I just did, I couldn't really.
Laying on the beach with the sunglasses.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, she's in. But it was a lot of work. These designers, they're very high maintenance, and rightfully so. I mean, you got a look that they want. It's their brand. It's what best represents them. So I found that was one of the few instances where I actually did serious homework, like for a fashion show, where I was watching YouTube videos of previous fashion shows that these designers were doing that had done, what kind of models they had, the looks, the hair, the makeup, what would best, represent them. And then, of course, hey, let's hire them and get them to do the show. So I did that with all 4 designers. And we put on an amazing event. Again, the stage was one area, and then the dressing room. I mean, it's in an auditorium. Yeah. And an auditorium that it just was not. Again, it was just so spaced out.
It wasn't built for
not at all.
Doing, but you made it work.
But made it work.
Now, when you pick the models, now do you say here's 4? You show the designer. Approved, disapproved. Like how do you go about picking?
No, I've been very fortunate. I've never really allowed them to choose.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty much. Hey, this is who we have.
All right, Vic. Now I really know you're something.
Yeah, when we swimwear can be a little tough. Yeah. Some designers, we use the models, and I'm like a sponge. I just absorb it. Like you're gonna yell at me and bark at me. You, the designer. All right, we're doing it, but we're still using these models. And I don't discriminate, We're in South Florida. I mean, yeah, you can go, you can go to the mall and you got your fashion shows, Saks and Nordstrom's and all those, or you've got the, the main fashion shows where, you got real Wilhelmina models and all that. And I work with a lot of the models from a lot of agencies as well. But when it comes to doing, regular, real fun shows, I mean, I get creative. I mean, I don't discriminate, like I said, and I get the people that I know will get the crowd going. Crowd turns into liquor sales, and liquor sales makes everybody happy if you're in the bar industry. Bartenders, everybody. It's like one whole, it's one piece of the puzzle. But if you have the charisma, especially with swimwear, if you have the charisma, I'm not afraid to hire you. If you're 5'2", well, guess what? We'll wear on Kiss platform shoes, and we'll make you 5'9".
Yeah.
And if you got the body and you can sell it, then that's what we're going with. So for me, when it comes to fashion shows and a lot with the hospitality industry, I guess the best word to say who I am is just opportunity. I've been just a man of opportunity. I've worked with so many different people. I've given so many people the opportunity to do something with themselves, and a lot of them have run with it and done incredible things. So again,
watch just throw it away.
Yeah, exactly. So
you ever read the book Machiavelli?
Yeah.
There you go. Finally. Out of 75 shows, I like people that when we talk like this.
That and The Art of War.
Art of War. Yep.
I still have The Art of War. Yes.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick has that book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably out of 75 people that have been in here, that when we got into like real conversations, and I would hear something, I'd say, "Did you read Machiavelli?" They go, "Who's Machiavelli?" I'm like, what? It's the way of fucking life.
Yeah.
Well, it's the way of business, at least.
I mean, I found that, I've worked with a lot of people, and I can't say that I've liked a lot of them, but that doesn't matter. I have what I need to be doing. If you and I are working together and we don't see eye to eye, but we can get to the same result, I'll make it work.
Yeah, who cares?
I'm willing to put my ego aside the second I walk in the office. And
I love
if
that.
you want to tell people that it was your event, fine, tell them. I can go to bed knowing who exactly did all the work. It's cool, but I'm not one of those. I don't have, time is very valuable. So it's like, and also money. Why am I going to let my ego in the way? When, I could have done this, I could have done that. But I didn't like how this person talked to me, or I didn't like how this person did this, that.
As long as the job gets done, who cares?
Yep. And also, even to go deeper here, when you're working with some people, maybe somebody had a falling out with that person you're working with. Hey, Vic, I don't think you should be working with that person. Well, guess what? In my opinion, when I'm working with you, it's like a football record. It's 0-0. And every time you do something good for me, 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. Until you give me that one, then I know to stop working with you. But until then, I don't care if they told me you shitted on 1,000 people. But if you and I are getting the job done, people know me, they trust me, they know what I do, what I bring to the table, no matter what that other person does. And that has given me the ability to work with so many people, whether they've liked them or not. But if it gets me to where I need to get at the end of the day, I'm all for it. I do it, and I do it 100 times. It's just...
So in other words, when you meet somebody into business, you don't care what anybody says, what you heard. It's 0-0, and you make your own decision for yourself.
Yep, I do.
Usually people get influenced by something.
I don't. I really don't. You can tell me 1,000 times. And
that's why you're doing 9 million things, bro. You know what I mean?
I've had the ability, I've been very blessed to work with a lot of people, and I'm not fake, but I can absorb, I can take mental notes, and, make my own decisions. And so when I feel the need to cut someone off, I've never really, I'll be honest with you, I have not been screwed over by anyone. No one's ever, like, financially, and I've heard stories where other people do whatever to other people, and I've been lucky. I can't really turn around and be like, well, that person did this to me and that person does. No, not at all.
Now, do you think that's because you were so on top of everything, or do you just think that you were just handling things right? Or?
I'm pretty hands-on, but I'm also, if you and I were, say, hired by Tesla to do something, and we're doing things, but we're both independent contractors, but we're still working together as a team, then if I don't feel that something's going right, I won't put you under the bus, but I'll sure as hell find out exactly what's going on, or how things been structured, so to speak.
Right.
So then I know exactly when to say what and not when to say things. It's just one of those where I'm not technically going around your back, but I am, but I'm not screwing you over. I just need to be knowledgeable as to, like, if what you're telling me is true. And then from there, I can just do what I need to do. It's just, and again, I haven't had to do that with a lot of people. But if I don't feel comfortable with something, then I feel out the powers that be and kind of feel out what's going on there. That's pretty much a better way to put it.
Yeah, it sounds like you're kind of just you're just going around making sure that the goal that needs to be done gets done, and that nothing gets in the way of that goal.
Yeah, because I'm a pretty hands-on individual. I have to have my teeth.
That's why you haven't.
I have to have my teeth in everything.
Yeah, that's why you haven't been screwed.
Yeah.
Because once you get that content thing, boom, they'll bang it.
Yeah. I need to be in the know at all times.
Well,
times.
That's why you've never had any issues like that. I mean, seriously, What else do we got? All kinds of shit. What'd you do at Sunfest?
Well, back then it was just doing PR work for them. We were just on the committee, It was a good experience. I got to, I was doing a lot of social media with them. And I got to meet some pretty good artists. Wiz Khalifa, outside of Cardi B's man, Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Dude, I had to shadow him once, and woo, I literally got high hanging out with that guy. Just not even by smoking it, just being next to him the entire time.
They say he's super nice.
Yeah, he's actually a very nice guy, very fun.
He's working out like crazy now.
Yep,
you see him?
Good. I need to get to the gym now because of that. I see him, I'm like, damn, Wiz.
Yeah, he went from 90 pounds soaking wet to he's probably at least 140. Have you seen him?
And Sunfest, it's unfortunate that they're not doing it this year.
Yeah, JR was going to run it, I think. You know JR?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in here. He was going to run it.
Yeah, he was going to do the barges.
The barges, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, historically, 480,000 people is what they get in, well, it was 5 days or 6 days, and then they minimized it by one, and then they decreased a few things here and there, but it's still a lot of people, So, I mean, I guess I get it. It's you're really hurting a lot of people that could have made a lot of money that weekend, that count on that.
Yeah.
From the hospitality to all the vendors. So it hurts. But yeah, I mean, that's when you're talking about 480,000 people within those 4 or 5 days. You're kind of pushing the envelope.
I mean,
if you
about
pull
it,
it
even
off.
if everybody only spent $1, that's $500,000 right there.
Yep.
If they only spent $1, now nobody's going to go there and spend $1,
right?
So if you do the math, I mean, you lost millions and millions and millions easily.
Yeah, because it's almost like $100 for the pass now.
Yeah. So you get 500,000. I mean, what a blow.
And it probably be a lot more next year because they have to make up for not having it for 2 years and COVID provisions, whatnot, in terms of, some kind of clause, who knows, taxes. Yeah,
I know. The COVID thing hasn't really affected me. I do marketing during the day. It hasn't really affected me too much. A little bit on the mama pot, like a couple people that I've been with for, 10 years, loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
They had to shut down. They couldn't do it. I mean,
yeah, I have a few of those as well. It's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just hope it gets better and things move on and they just let us do what we want, so you can get back to doing what you do and I do what I do. And
just don't cancel Christmas, right?
Yeah. Yeah, don't let that be the next thing.
Right? Yeah, because it looked like, last year everything was just getting canceled, one after the other, I didn't really think we were going to cancel our hangar event. I was very hard on just, we're making it happen no matter what. And then
I didn't think they canceled Sunfest.
Yeah.
When JR, he was in here and he was so, because he had a big stage for himself. I didn't think they'd do it. I thought they'd figure out some way to have it.
Or push it back in the year.
Or
or Tortuga pushed it
back.
But, I had inside information, and I hope anybody from Sunfest isn't seeing this, but but I had inside information that they weren't going to be doing the Sunfest back in October. Wow, it was not happening. It was determined then that it wasn't going to happen. Wow. So, and again, you got to look at it both ways. It's still a lot of people in 5 days, and it's one thing for venues to be at capacity at their places on the weekend, but now when you've got, 480,000, or if you limit it, but still, even if you limit it, you're doing a concert, can you really trust the people? That's the thing. You can put every protocol in place to do the event, but can you trust the people that are coming to the event?
Right.
Will they behave in the way that you want them to behave? They'll start off behaving, but they come from happy hour or from the boat. Yeah. And then you can't trust them.
Yep.
And we unfortunately West Palm, when things go sour, they can go sour just like anywhere.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a tough situation. So I mean, I definitely am glad I'm not the person that organizes Sunfest.
Fuck that. No, thank you. And then Sundance.
Yeah, Sundance was an experience. I think it was 5-6 years ago.
Yeah,
out there with a group.
I was reading about that. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we went out there for a whole month. It was back in 2016, I think, and not really used to being in under 30-degree weather, but I think it was 20 the entire time we were there. Yeah, every day. I was like Rocky Balboa in Rocky IV, when he's training.
Yeah.
Whenever I was, I really understood stress levels within myself. You're always learning something about yourself, but how my body reacted to stress. So I just felt like shoveling snow in the morning. I didn't care. Just T-shirt, 18 degrees. I didn't care. But I was stressed out of my mind for something. I was just shoveling snow the entire time.
And just burning it off.
Burning it off. But it was a great experience. We were a team that also worked with a team out in Utah. And we were in Park City, Utah for like I said, for a whole month. And Sundance, organized by Robert Redford. So a lot of the who's who actors.
He's an awesome actor.
Yeah,
Redford's awesome.
The Natural, baby, Roy Hobbs. Yeah. And but a lot of these A-listers, they'll invest in short films and then they showcase them throughout the 10 days. And we were fortunate to do some parties, some nice events, and work with some pretty cool artists. And it was a great experience. We had a lot of ups and downs, but in anything you learn. Again, the Mormons work a certain way, so they basically, it's I'll tell you, I think it was Sunday. They didn't like us. I'll tell you that. They didn't like that we were out of staters.
Like a new person
doing
in
business.
town?
We were the new kids on the block. They did not like it at all. And we had WITA visit us every day. But I remember it was a Sunday, and they don't sell liquor. You can't buy liquor. So we go out of state. We go to Wyoming, and we buy as many Tito bottles as we can. Right? So we get back, and Wyatt Earp comes back, sees us, and laughs and says, "You boys better hope when I check up on you guys that those bottles don't say, WY. It's better say UT or it's a $25,000 fine." And we were like, "Oh God, uh-oh." And I had no idea that they could figure out where the bottles are from. I had no idea that it told you what state. I mean, Tito's is Tito's, and it's
on the back.
It's from Austin. It's from Austin, Texas, and that's it. Well.
So they can tell exactly where you bought it from.
Yeah. So luckily, the barback that we had, he was a snowboard trainer there, and he saved all the Tito bottles from the night before. So we basically washed them all out, poured them all in, and there we were.
Acted like nothing happened.
No, even Wyatt Earp was very stunned. The fire marshal, he was stunned. He couldn't believe it. But they were honest about everything. Anything we did, we moved one piece of furniture, that changed the occupancy immediately. They were honest for every little thing. But we had a great time. It was an event that it could have been bigger. We had a project that we were working on. We were going to do like a big EDM show, and the venue that we were going to work at, it fell through. And we had a lot of contracts, that with some like with Cascade, Stevie Aoki. Stevie Aoki had a crazy rider. Like his rider, he doesn't drink, but in his rider, you had to have a certain flour for the cakes that he throws out to the audience because he was sued one time. So if his cakes didn't have a certain specific flour, then all bets are off. He wasn't going to perform.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And who's that?
Stevie Aoki.
He's wild. I never saw him until he was at Sunfest. He takes a whole cake.
Yes.
Like full cake and just throws it to the crowd. Just throws it out.
Yep.
Really?
Splatters over everybody. They're eating it. They're throwing it.
Pull up a picture of him. I've never even seen that.
And in his rider, you need to have a specific size of the yellow raft that you need to have. So I guess he jumps on it. He puts on a crazy show for the audience, and there he is.
What?
His father's Benny Hanna.
Okay, no. He does look familiar now.
Yeah. Yeah, Stevie Aoki cake smash. And there you go.
And what if that is not perfectly the way?
If it doesn't have the right flour, then he won't do it.
Wow.
Yep. He had a lot of writers, and all these artists have really crazy writers. The ones that don't drink, I mean, even their snacks.
Yeah.
And we had to make sure whoever we had, we had to make sure they had the proper amount, the right amount of, Crown, Jameson, monster drinks. It had to be the exact number that they asked for, or they weren't going to perform. So
I remember I had heard like Usher had to have they had to be like all red M&Ms. Like M&Ms could be no blue ones. It had to be all red. Like the Kit Kats had to be cut in like little squares.
Listen, I believe it because, like I said, when I came across Stevie Aoki's rider, I was just like, "What is this guy for real?" Like he does know. Like we're like doing it in an area that isn't going to be that big. Oh, what happened was that venue fell through. We weren't going to be doing anything at this venue, so it really hurt what we were going to try to do. So now, luckily for us, though, we rented out a gallery on Main Street. So Main Street's where you want to be at. So this place was pretty cool. It had it was 2 floors with a rooftop, and we were right across from Sundance TV. Well, we were still going to do certain things. We were still do certain shows, and we were going to have Stevie Aoki play there. But we were like, going back and forth with this group. We eventually couldn't work it out, but there was no way we could have had this raft and this cake in this area that we were at. I mean, it just would have been no way. It would have been too much of a mess. But again, his rider. I'll have to email you his rider.
Yeah, it was funny.
It's something else.
Now, when you said you said like some good things happened there, some bad things happened.
Well, yeah.
there?
So the I would say bad things because with anything,
things you would have done different.
It's the experience. I mean, it just certain things didn't go the way we wanted to go. And it was the first time that I came across that feeling of, okay, just can't go your way all the time. I was very fortunate that everything I was doing up until that point worked. You know, I was never in the red, always in the green, you know, and it was a very humbling. It was very, very humbling. Again, learning your stress levels, how you function, how you think. But I never got down. You know, I mean, yeah, you always think of, like, what can I do here and there? But it's one of those where I always take it where, all right, well, what am I getting at this? What can I do from this that I can improve moving forward so that I don't come to this again or have that experience, so to speak. So in that regards, yeah, I couldn't say that the whole trip was a failure, because it really wasn't. You know, there was more downs than ups, but the ups were definitely rewarding. They were definitely there. And when it was there, you know, you kind of felt like, you knew you had something. I mean, here we went out of state. You know, had this been done in Florida, no way we would have pulled this off 100%. You know, but we went out of state. We decided to go somewhere where we didn't know what we were doing. We're working with people that didn't want to work with us, and we still, to some degree, pulled it off. You know, so for that was awesome. You know, what it could have really been would have been legendary, you know? And it's not to say that won't ever happen again, but I mean, I got a good feel for working with a lot of these agents, you know, a lot of these agencies, you know, I mean, you know, it was, I had a lot of opportunities that I would have presented to a lot of my friends here that it didn't work out, you know, and then that hurt too, because here were people that were, you know, basically taking time off from what they wanted to, you know, from their jobs to come with me to Utah. And then when one of the things fell through, it was like a domino effect. Well, I had to pretty much lay everyone off, so to speak, and we haven't even worked yet. And then that hurt, you know, I mean, it was because I felt really bad. I empathized, you know, and I didn't, you know, it obviously wasn't my decision, but what can you do? You know, you have a whole venue that's not going to operate for us now. And so, and at the time, yeah, that kind of, you know, kind of caused a little rift amongst friends, but they knew at the end of the day that I wasn't intentionally doing it. So, but it hurt. But that was a process of learning, just learning how to work with people. And you're constantly working with people every day, you know, whether it's for the good or the bad. And it's how you handle yourself and what you say to people, really. I mean, at the end of the day, all you have is your word.
And like you were saying, the bad thing that happened really wasn't bad, because you get upset because you say, you know, fuck, I failed. But you really didn't fail, because if you dissect it and figure out what you did wrong so you don't make the same mistake again, then It's not really a bad thing.
True.
You know?
True.
I mean, that's how I try to look at it.
Yeah. I mean, it was the overall experience. I would have done it again.
Yeah.
Would have tweaked a few things, but I would have done it again. It was an incredible experience. And it was great to be out there. I mean, hey, you get to say we did Sundance. We did it for 10 days. You know, I mean, we were there. And
10 days is a long time.
We were there for 30 days and 10 days of it. Yeah.
How'd your head feel when you got home?
You know, I love the cold weather, but not that cold. But then once I acclimated myself, I was good to go. I was like, all right, I can handle this. But I was mentally checked out. I'd say probably day 22, 23, I was checked out. I was ready to get back home.
Just kind of had enough.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's all good. You know, we did what we needed to do. You know, if we had to do it all over again, you know, I definitely would have, you know, not been there all 10 days to execute this. We probably could have just done it on the first weekend. So the cool thing about Sundance is it's 2 weekends. And in between, they have short films screening every day. But all the main players are there the first weekend. So that's when you want to be there. Yeah. So if we had to have done it all over again, would have just been there that first weekend and then just cut out.
So I think the short films are kind of cool, though.
They are. Yeah. Jake the Snake Roberts did a documentary.
Yeah.
It was of addiction. So we got to meet him. That was pretty cool. Razor Ramon was there.
Really?
Yep. And the good thing is that, you know, I got to meet some really cool people. I actually got to, you know, I came back. One of my best friends, he lives out there. So when I go back out to visit him in January, you know, when I see people on Main Street that are working Sundance, it's so good that it's so cool that they remember me. Like, hey Vic, how's it going? Are you here to do an event? That's what they always say. I'm like, nah, I'm just here to spectate, just have a good time. But I went with my buddy and his wife, and we went to an activation, and it was Nicolas Cage and Elijah Wood's Frodo Baggins, right? So there's a picture of me on the JetSmart or XO Now Instagram, and what do you call it?
Nicholas.
So I'm sitting in the back, right?
Of an actor.
I'm sitting in the back and, talking to somebody. Oh, Nicholas is tall. Yeah. Super cool guy. So Elijah comes up to him. They're talking. And they're like, Elijah's like, hey, man, I think I owe you from the night before. And he's like, no, you don't owe me anything. So I'm kind of like, all right, well, now I want to listen to what they're saying. I'm like, they're literally like right here. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, this is kind of cool. And well, what does he owe? Because no, I got you. Trust me, this is the shit. This is the stuff right here. I go, uh-oh. And he whips out what looks like business card holder, and then he opens it up and it's joints. And the whole time I'm like in the picture, somebody takes a picture of us where they're posing and I'm in the background. But at that moment I'm going, Jesus Christ, I can't believe these guys are just, they're just having this conversation just like that. Hey, I owe you joints.
Yeah.
And he's like, trust me, you're good. He's like, tell your mom I said hi. It's exactly how it went. I was like,
you're probably like, what the hell?
What the hell? Frodo Baggins is freaking giving it the, Con Air over here,
Out of all the events that you've done so far, what do you think was the biggest one you've done?
That's a good question. The biggest one?
Or maybe your most favorite one?
I would have to say my most favorite one was my Dress to Impress in Delray Beach. I did at Solitas at the time. I worked with Steven and Souza DePuzzo.
Yeah.
Great people. And we did a fashion show. They had done fashion shows, a few of them. But this one really was very unique in its own way, Just the production that went into it, the models that I had, and the entertainment. I tried to do something very like Victoria's Secret so it was an amazing event. There was like 400 people there.
What made it so unique?
I just think it was just because of how we did the show. It was the way the production went with the fashion show, and the setting. The setting was just beautiful. The outside courtyard of Solitas is very beautiful. At night, it's breathtaking with the Christmas lights around it and everything. It was just a beautiful, beautiful scenery to do a show. And we had some very beautiful people. And again, the entertainment value that came into it. It was just a great, great night. It was just a great event. I mean, people were like, wow, that was an amazing, amazing event. And it was, to this day, it's probably one of my more memorable ones. All the models that were involved. I walked in the show as well. I was doing Zoolander.
Zoolander.
I even think I had Sean Reb walk in that show, actually. Yeah, Sean underage drinking, I think, back in the day.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
But yeah, to me, that event.
Could you get him to sit still?
Yes, I did. That event was.
If you can get Sean to sit still, you should get the biggest award in the world. Sean knows I'm messing with him.
Yeah,
he knows I'm just kidding around.
But that event was an amazing event. It truly was. I mean, I think the next one after that, and I mean, again, they've all been great, so I don't want anyone to think that, I didn't like working with them. But I think we did two great hangar events, the two Wings and Wheels.
Yeah.
But I did one in 2013 when I was Man of the Year candidate for Leukemia Lymphoma for my campaign.
Yeah, talk about that. That's a hell of an accomplishment.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, it's a contest. It's a 10-week contest with young professionals to raise money for the Boy and Girl of the Year, and as well, obviously, for blood cancer. So I had a dear friend that passed away, and I wasn't able to say my goodbyes to him back 2008 or 9. And ever since then, I've I regretted the fact that I was ill. I was just sick, and I didn't get my chance to say bye to him. In fact, I didn't get my chances. I had many opportunities. You get caught up in your world, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I didn't get my chance. So that stuck around for a little bit. I knew his brother very well. And then after a few years after that, I finally said, well, why don't I start doing something, And the LLS was always there. And they do an amazing thing. They don't just, we do fundraisers for blood cancer, but we also do for all kinds of cancers, all kinds of cancer research. So the LLS is definitely a nonprofit that I hold dear to my heart. And when I did in 2013, I teamed up with somebody, and we did a hangar event. And that hangar event, to me, very memorable in the way that out of any event that I've ever done, I actually got to enjoy it because I treated it. I walked around with my sister came and supported the event, and I walked around with my sister like if I was the guest. I walked around to all the vendors. I talked to everybody, and I think when the fashion show came on, we even had somebody that did the fashion show for us. So it wasn't even me producing it. So it was just awesome. I mean, I got to really enjoy the event for what it was. We did a sunset hangar. It almost rained, so I almost cried in the locker room.
Yeah. It's like for once you can enjoy something and you don't have to be looking over.
It did rain actually, and I went to the locker room and did my Rocky Balboa one knee. Like, don't cry, don't rain. But yeah, it was one event where I thoroughly enjoyed all of it. I felt like I was a guest there, and it was super cool. I haven't been able to do that with any other event. I am hoping to do that. That's my goal, is the next Saturday to be, have that guest feel again. I think we've done enough for it, but yeah, that's memorable moments. And with the leukemia lymphoma, I was also the all-star candidate last year. It was very tough for me with my campaign, trying to do what I wanted to do because of COVID. A lot of the events that I wanted to do could not happen, and I felt very confident that I would have raised the amount that I would have wanted had we not had COVID. But what was impressive was that despite the pandemic, we were able to do almost $700 million.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or no, 700,000. 700,000. Yeah. Still a lot.
Yeah.
700,000. Yeah. So it's amazing accomplishment. This year there's I think 14 to 15 candidates, and it's going on as we speak. So like I said, part of the proceeds of our Wheels, Wings, and Fashion event is going to go to one of the candidates, and it's like I said, Leukemia Lymphoma does an amazing job. Have a great support system, and they know what they're doing. They have a good system as to how they can get the best out of you, and of course having a team behind you and raising the dollars that you need to, and rightfully so. I mean, nonprofits took a beating last year, all of them. I mean, how could you raise the money that you would want to raise at events when you don't have any to have? I mean, other than just asking for in-kind donations, that whole element is just gone.
Yeah.
So,
what got you into the leukemia?
Well, like I said, it was like the loss of my buddy.
That's what got it all started?
Yeah, okay. That's what got it started. So I wanted to give back. In fact, I dedicated my first hangar event to him.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. So Kiki Gutierrez was his name.
Oh, sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah.
I know, it's tough.
But yeah, and it's been an amazing ride.
Well, you're killing it now. I mean,
I've been very blessed.
He's definitely proud of you wherever he is.
Yeah. He is.
He's proud of you.
Yeah, I've been blessed, man. I've been been the many people I've been able to talk to, meet, the experiences, the memories, the G-rated memories, the R-rated memories.
That's what I always say.
The in-between.
You can lose everything but memories.
Mm-hmm.
Memories are the only thing that nobody can ever take from you.
Exactly.
And then you do the Polo Club.
Yes. So Polo has been wonderful, like I said. I handle, well, actually I do sales for them as an independent contractor, and I've been working with them now for 6 years, International Polo Club. And like I was saying, we have a great product. We have an amazing brunch. I mean, there's over like 50, 60 food items. Our brunch is it's more lunch oriented. It does have your usual suspects in terms of like eggs Benedict, your sausage, your bacon, your omelet stations, but everything else changes weekly. There's always a different selection of food, and the food is outstanding. And to the credit of the staff, I mean, very hard to get things done. Our staff was very shorthanded, and it still is shorthanded. I mean, hospitality is still not there. There's, a lot of people, unfortunately, sitting at home collecting unemployment and not wanting to work.
Well, they're getting that check.
Yeah, they're getting that check, and they don't want to get out there. And it hurts other people. It hurts other people. And, it's not that we can't get certain things done, but when you don't have the manpower, you just don't have the manpower. I mean, working the stadium at the Hard Rock, same thing. I mean, we're not at capacity, but at the same time, we don't have the staff either to be able to do the things we'd like to do.
Now, is the manpower because they got the check and they just want to sit at home, or is the manpower issue because you're only allowed to have so many people in there, or?
I think it could be a little of the both. Well, I think with restaurants, there's no excuse. You're sitting at home collecting that check, because restaurants are operating at 100%. There's not many here. I mean, again, I'm speaking for Palm Beach County.
General,
I can't speak for,
Yeah.
But for many of them, I mean, you're collecting that check,
Why would you go to work?
Exactly. At the stadium, it was very difficult this whole season. Not enough people, so it can get boring. When you're used to meeting some high profile, athletes or celebs, and constantly talking or just being busy, depending on where you were, and now you go to just every 30, 40 minutes. Yeah,
maybe somebody comes in.
Is it worth it? And then on top of that, I got to wear a mask for 4 or 5 hours.
You can't breathe. Yeah.
I swear, it's like a greyhound wearing a muzzle.
Yeah,
the whole.
I can't breathe in it. I feel like I can't breathe.
So it can be a little challenging. So I mean, my heart goes out to all these people that are trying to make things happen. I mean, but we just in certain areas we just don't have the manpower. And again, in the hospitality as well, a lot of people, they're not working at 100%.
So you take like the Polo Club and you promote the brunch.
Yes, we promote the brunch. And of course, you get my concierge, me being the concierge, making sure you have a great time. I'm a great host.
Hey, that's worth it in itself.
Welcome to International Polo Club.
The Rock says.
So the Rock says. And like I said, it's again, people are paying just because they want to be out there. They appreciate the food. For now. I mean, before in the past, you would go out there, watch the sport. I can't really say that a lot of people really cared about polo. You had maybe a small percentage of equestrians really cheering on or knowing the players, but for the most part, a lot of these people didn't. They're like, whatever, unless it rains. When it rains, they care.
Yeah.
Do they still do the gladiator polo? They used to have gladiator polo.
Yeah, well, they didn't do it this past year, but they did a couple years ago. But again, the experience being a little limited, and rightfully so because of COVID, but people still want to do things. So it's been a great season. We wanted to work with the city of Wellington to make sure that they were happy, and they had restrictions that we had to put in place. And, but those restrictions, we've been selling out every week, sold out crowd. And you're telling me those people,
people they're just dying to get out.
Yeah.
I mean, now why do you, because you're out there all the time, why do you think the real estate business is going off the hook right now?
Well, people are moving down. People moving everywhere. Well, for now, I mean.
Well, I think it's a bubble personally. But.
Yeah, but I mean, it's people wanting to, get down here and live their lives. I mean, for the most part, or you have more people that actually have a lot of properties down here that now want to come and might as well, make the money too as well. Because
the real estate seems huge. Gold is going up like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Just little things that I thought would definitely go down because of the COVID have just shot through the roof.
Right.
But it's got to drop at some point.
It will drop. It has to. I mean, now that other states are slowly lifting their restrictions, you're eventually going to want to go back to your state.
Yeah.
You're coming here, you're buying properties, and you're buying properties because who knows if this is going to happen again. And if it's going to happen again, we're already seeing it. Florida is actually one state that can sustain it. That can actually absorb it. So why not buy property down here, while you can,
It just seems so high right now.
It is.
So much higher than
I mean, I would be buying property in New York right now.
New York, yeah. Because they're going to clean that up eventually.
Yeah, they have to.
Well,
they say 8 to 10 years. They say 8 to 10 years, but you get a different governor in there and that can change like that.
You're right.
So
you think they'll get him out of there?
Yeah.
What a douchebag.
He's a total douche.
And they're still locked up just like California.
Yep.
My friend lives out in California. Well, he lives in Arizona. He goes over to Boziak. He goes over to California, boarded up, Starbucks boarded up, even right now. They're starting to
How can you justify that?
I don't know.
And yet their their numbers still escalate.
Yeah, to me it's control. I mean, I don't see any other.
The whole thing has been control.
Yeah, I mean, what else could it possibly be?
I mean, for me personally, like the biggest slap in the face was over the summer when they said we couldn't do large gatherings or large events or of any sort. And then there was like 500,000 people outside the Los Angeles City Hall, doing a friendly protest.
Yeah.
Really? You're going to allow that after everything we were going through up to that point? You're going to allow 500,000 people out there? No social distancing? I just stopped.
That's pretty much exactly what, when Roger Stone was in here, that's pretty much what he was saying. He was like, you could do this, but you can't do that. Or actually, what we were talking about was you can go protest, go do all kinds of crazy shit. When you're 2 feet, a foot from each other, that's okay. But you can't go to dinner.
Right. supposedly a very super intelligent virus, right? It's,
Yeah.
It
must
you
pick
can
and
get it
choose.
standing up, but you can't get it sitting
Yeah.
down. All right, with
Yeah.
a little plexiglass right here. Okay.
It must pick and choose exactly what it
Yeah.
wants to do.
Yeah, you drink a lot of Crown and you might get it. You drink Tito's, you probably won't. Who knows?
Yeah.
So true.
And here's your Instagram. Now this is wow. This is your main one?
Yes, this is.
There's the Polo Brunch. Click on the Polo Brunch, Rob.
Yeah, you can
Real
click on
quick.
that. Yeah, people dress up. It's like very Kentucky Derbish.
Oh, that's a what kind of car is that?
You can just click on it.
I was curious.
Well, if you click on the pictures, yeah. So that's just a little preview.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely still regular food items to pick up.
There's definitely plenty of food there.
Yes, there's a huge abundance.
And what time is it on Sundays?
It's from 2 to 5. The brunch starts
nice.
at 2. The polo match is at 3. And that's when we,
Yeah, I don't think too many
Didn't
people are
socially
watching polo.
Well, this year they do, believe it or not,
Yeah.
because of the restrictions. You're only as good as your group, or you're going to only have as fun as your group. So if you come to me and you're a group of 2, then you're getting a high top of 2. If you come in with a group of 3 or 4, same thing applies. In the past, polo has been, and it will be, but in the past, it was an incredible place to go to network. You never knew who you were going to meet.
Oh yeah.
For me, I was very blessed. A lot of the events that I've been able to do was because I met the main person, the main decision maker. I didn't have to deal with the gatekeeper.
Now, how'd you go about getting to that person?
Just socializing, talking, or through a friend who said, "Hey, you might want to meet this person," and they would buy tickets through me. So now you get a table through me, and then at some point I check up on you a few times, and we'll sit down and talk, and there we go.
But how'd you work your way up to this point where you just know all these people? You're at the
It's just-
Super Bowl. You're doing MMA.
It was just timing. I mean, it was when I first started doing the marketing and all that. Again, it was just timing. I mean, it was one of those where I came in hot and I knew it, and other people recognized it. So they said, "All right, well, he's the guy that people are talking about, so let's get him on board." Even though I didn't know anything about that area,
Yeah.
like polo brunch. All right, was polo for me at the time? Not really. I didn't care, but I understood there was a huge market for it. People wanted to be around, great networking. And for me, the networking part was where, that really, caught my attention. And then it was just a matter of, all right, so what do we need to do to make this a party? That was already an established party. So it was already there, and I just came on just to kind of add an extra layer of entertainment.
Yeah.
And a lot's changed over the years, definitely a lot has changed. But again, the opportunity it's always there. When polo gets back to where it's going to be 20 times better than it is now, because people have been appreciating it,
Yeah, I'm just joking. I don't know how to play it. I tried to play it once and it was terrible.
But to answer that question, a lot of people don't care,
Yeah.
It's not that they don't care. It's just, it's there as a scenery,
Yeah.
But what I found with this season is that because you're only limited to your group, you're not able to network the way you want to network. Because if you had a 10 top and it's a 3 of you, well, then you've got obviously another 7 people that you don't know, and then there you go. You don't know who you're going to get to meet or what kind of importance that person has, of what they do in their industry, and if there's any synergy there or whatnot. You don't have that there. So now, if it's just me and Grandpa Joe and my dad, and we talk all the time. So what else could we possibly talk about? Now we're watching the polo match because that's the only thing to do,
Yeah.
and not in a negative way.
Sense.
Not
No,
in a
it
negative
makes
way.
sense.
So in this past season, a lot of people have been cheering and watching the game intently, and it's been great. I'm beside myself. People actually are tuning in, watching it. When they're not eating, they're looking up, they're cheering, they're making noise, and it's been a great season. To see that is awesome, and I think the players appreciate that too. Because
I'm sure.
yeah, I mean, you're hearing the crowd,
Yeah.
So it's I think it's been a great polo season, despite the restrictions. I think we've had a very successful campaign. It's only going to make next year even better once these restrictions hopefully come off. It's only going to make it better. I mean, we've had an incredible season. This is what I think, my opinion. We had an incredible season despite the restrictions. Despite it, it's been a success, and the numbers speak for itself. So,
And like you said, it kind of sounds like it kind of turned people on to it that would have never been turned on to it.
Right.
You know? And now that they're onto it, next year when everybody can really move around, hopefully, like you said, it'll be even bigger and better.
We try to do our best. I know our director, we have like, Polo 101. We have these little pamphlets, at the table. So you can open it up and it tells you exactly, the bullet points to understanding the game itself, the match. And, the quality of play right now. So right now we're in the U.S. Open Championships. So the quality of play is really good. The speed of the game is at an all-time high.
Yeah. Pull up that pic of him at the U.S. Open. You look sharp, by the way.
Where's it on?
It's in the pictures. You're standing in front of a. I'll show you. Right there. Yep.
Well, this was the Miami Open. Yeah, this one is the tennis. So that one's pretty good too. The experience with the Miami Open was a pretty good one. That one was at the Hard Rock Stadium, and I was very fortunate to handle the guest list at the Casatua Lounge that we created. Kind of like the dugout area, so to speak. They turned this into this ridiculous, incredible lounge. And it had a nice guest list. And Chris Fowler, ESPN guy,
really
didn't have his name on the list.
Oh shit!
and he's looking down to try to look, see, I'm looking, I'm like I don't know who Chris Fowler is.
Right,
really,
right.
And actually the day before, 2 days before, we were in the elevator and we were talking. Me being an FSU grad, I was like, Chris, what is going on? Every time you guys are talking about winning streaks, Florida State had a 29-game winning streak when you guys don't talk about it. UCF has 26, and that's what you talk about? And you show that instead of the 29? I'm like, is David Pollock hating us? And he laughed, and he's like, oh, we're just trying to have fun. I go, yeah, but when you're showing stats, show accurate stats.
Show all the stats.
Show all the stats. You're going to show the last 5 years, and that we're in those 5 years, but we're not displayed. Come on, that's insulting.
Yeah.
So we had this conversation. I thought for a second he would have remembered me there, Yeah. But he didn't.
So
I get it. Hey, that's all good. But then he's trying to get in this place, and I think it's great. So, he's looking, and then he starts dropping names, and it's awesome to see people with his credentials to be that way.
He can't get in, so he's got to use other names.
He's dropping names.
Yeah.
He's already going to get in. I'm a fan of tennis. I love his work with College Game Day.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, Mr. Fowler, I got you. Don't worry. You don't even have to give me any money. You're good. Your money's not good here.
Yeah. I actually like tennis.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of tennis. It's unfortunate we didn't have the top players like Nadal, Federer, and Djokovic play, but we got a lot of young up and coming guys. There's the good and the bad of that. You've got these guys that have been playing forever and are the greatest of all time. Maybe they should be gone because the average golf life is until the age of 32, 33. Andre Agassi, I think, kind of pushed that, but now
he pushed it. Yeah.
But when you're 35, 36, 37, or Fed about 40.
Agassi was what, 36?
36. You start, you're starting to take away from potential records of other people. And I get it. Listen, I'm a big fan of these guys, but at some point, when do you go away,
Yeah.
So, but I love tennis, so I loved working it when we had, again, full capacity. And they have, what the cool thing is, what we did this year was the matches were played at the grandstand and at the practice courts. And in the stadium, which originally was going to be center court, the whole field was for all the players. So all the players that are playing, if you're playing on that day, Medvedev, Rublev, Tsitsipas, they're all just running around having a good time playing 3-on-3 soccer or 4-on-4 soccer or playing Frisbee. Yeah, all the females are doing the same thing. The tennis stars they're just roaming around doing stuff, stretching, and then where I was at, the PA system would come on and say, Mr. Rublev, it's time for you to go to such and such. And you wouldn't hear that anywhere else in that stadium other than that area that I was at. So it was pretty cool seeing these guys just and females just constantly play and just do their own thing. Just I guess ways to keep themselves warmed up before they play.
Yeah, keep them loose.
And the Miami Open did a great job. We were very limited to how many people we could have per day.
That's what I was just going to say. How many can you get in there?
I think it was under 1,000 a day, I think. It wasn't a lot. It definitely wasn't a lot. But the activations that they had, and the setups, it was beautiful. It was well done. Unfortunately, it would have been better, if we would have had more people. And but again, with time,
And still you made it happen.
Yeah, no, and that's the important thing, that it did happen. Same thing with with the Honda Classic. You know, I mean, I didn't go to the Honda Classic, but I was around PGA, and you know, it's not the same experience, but at least it's happening, and that's what needs to happen with everything. Just make it happen somehow, even if it's in front of 20 people, 30 people, 40. You're probably not going to make all your money back. But you need to start building. You need to start building that foundation, making it happen. You know, and I know with concerts, you know, they're starting to slowly roll out. We're going to be seeing a lot more concerts starting in August. I know the Hard Rock is doing. Got Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, and Joan Jett.
Yeah.
So kudos to them. You know, and you know, hopefully we can see Mike Tyson in Holyfield.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Do you think they're actually going to fight?
Well, it's all up to Mike Tyson. Holyfield wants to make it happen. You know, it comes down to Mike Tyson financially. It's the financial side.
Yeah. Do you think he'll do it?
No.
No. You think he had enough?
Well, you know what? He took on
Roy Jones.
He took him on, but Holyfield called him out on it because originally it was supposed to be them two.
That's right.
And Holyfield was the more fresh, just fought not too long, you know.
Because he's been boxing around the world the whole time.
Yep. Yeah. So he was calling out Tyson, saying, "Listen, really, you're doing a pick me up boxing match before you can face me, like really, like." So he's already calling him out on it, you know. Yeah. So there had to have been some truth to that. So I mean, for Holyfield, I don't think it was about the money. I mean, he's been wanting to make it happen. Yeah. He wanted to make it happen back into the prime.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't think that'd be a good fight for Tyson. I mean, I think he beat the hell out of Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah,
I think
he looks
just
phenomenal.
Great. Yeah,
at his age.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, he's 80 years old in boxes. I will still watch it. You know, it's Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
you know,
Holyfield's. I don't know, man. Tyson looked big, boy.
I hope
we were watching it in here. We had just got done. We were watching it. Yeah. Tyson, did you watch the fight? Man, did he look jacked or what?
He looked good.
I mean, he looked like he did 30 years ago.
Those uppercuts. I mean, even though he missed a few of them, but they look like the Mike Tyson video game.
And the body shots he was giving him.
Yeah.
They said he was like high going into the fight.
Yeah, he said he was. He was.
Yeah,
he was hanging out with Khalifa and Cardi B's man. You know,
imagine him not being high. I mean, those body shots were crazy.
God.
Can you imagine getting hit by one of them?
No, not at all. Oof. And Roy was saying, he's like, man, I don't want any part of this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. He was talking a lot of shit before the fight, though.
And then after, too. He was like, you know, on his own little message and whatever.
And it was like, dude, you got crushed. You guys called it a draw so you can do a rematch and make more money on it. He whooped your ass, and the only reason you still could walk is because he allowed you to walk and was high.
Yeah.
If he wasn't high, you probably would have been on the ground real quick.
It's just amazing to see how good Mike Tyson looked.
I know.
Like, he looked focused, even though he was high. But, I mean, focused to get to that point, you know? I mean, he was just in shape, man. Like, God, he looked like he was 21 years old.
That's what I mean. But remember, he was doing that podcast, smoking weed. He was getting heavy, doing movies. Mm-hmm. Then he stopped it all. He stopped the podcast and all and trained like a maniac for 3 months. And he's just got that genetic, naturally, at his age, that he just... when I saw him come out of that ring, I was like, fuck. Me and Rob were like, oh, boy.
No, he looked good. He looked very shredded. It was just pound for pound. He looked good.
Yeah.
At his age, he looked good.
I want to see Holyfield Tyson.
I'd love to. I'd love to see it.
Good too.
Hopefully, Mike Tyson makes it happen.
I think they will because of the money, because they both just blow through money like crazy.
Yeah.
Holyfield seems a little bit better with it, but.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, again, and then, of course, Mike Tyson was, you know, I guess a couple weeks ago saying, oh, it's going to happen, and then still
you got to create the hype, though. You know what I mean?
Well,
if you had a bet, do you think it happens?
Yeah, I think eventually it will. I think we'll see it later in the year. I don't think we'll see it right now.
You think it'll be this year, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think May's too soon.
Yeah.
You know, especially now. I mean, we're already in April, so these guys really 30 days. You're going to need a little bit more time, exhibition or not.
Yeah, maybe like October-ish.
Maybe.
Right? Something, November.
But it would have been good, you know.
Yeah.
Would have been really good. Memorial Day weekend, and there you are, you know, something to do.
They should have a Holyfield Tyson, and then give Floyd Mayweather. Who's the guy?
The
yeah, he's actually pretty good. I mean, he's not going to beat
Paul
Floyd.
or Logan Paul. Or
yeah, Logan Paul. Yeah, he's not going to beat Floyd.
He's the guy that laid out that.
Nate Robinson, a basketball player.
Yeah, laid him right out.
Yeah, Florida Gator, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't think anybody could beat Floyd.
No.
I mean, I know he picks his fights.
Frustrating guy to watch.
Yeah, because it's boring.
He's just so methodical.
Yeah.
he really frustrates you. You really get out of your own game because you're just trying so hard. And he's just there. Like, it's just.
Did you ever run into him?
No. He's been at the Hard Rock a lot.
I'm sure he has.
But no. I mean, he. But yeah, just his style is just so frustrating.
Yeah, I agree.
He's very calculative. He knows, he knows when to hit, when not to, and just frustrates you. You get to the point where, you start losing sight of what you're trying to do, and you just it's happened to so many boxers where they just get so frustrated.
I've only seen him hit one. Rob, I've only seen him actually hit once. I forget who cracked him. He got cracked once, like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
When I forget who it was. I thought I could remember his name. I can't remember his name. But I only seen him really get hit once in his whole fucking career.
Yeah.
Just jab, and wait, bounce around.
Undefeated.
Nobody's going to beat him.
Seriously.
No shot.
No shot. Yeah. He's going to be one of the greatest guys.
Yep. Let's pull up everything that he's got. You got so much going on, man. How many hours of sleep do you sleep a night?
I only need 4.
That's about how I am too.
Yep.
What time do you usually go to bed?
It average right around 1 a.m. too, when I'm not doing anything at night, regular school nights.
Yeah.
If I'm really exhausted, I'll go to bed before that. But yeah.
Usually 2, get up at
6:30.
I always ask this question with like really successful people.
Yeah, I mean, I get up around 6:30, and it sucks when I'm hungover and I'm getting up at 6:30.
Yeah.
Oh God, because then you just can't go back to bed and you gotta, But yeah, right around that time.
And you do that 7 days a week?
Yes, in fact, when I say I'm sleeping in, I'd say sleeping in is maybe 8, 9.
Yeah,
and that's on a Saturday.
Because you don't want to throw off your body's rhythm.
No.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
I figured it was 4 hours.
Yeah, 4 hours, 4.5. Yep.
That's what I would have bet. All right, so here we got the
iHeart Food and Wine series.
Yeah,
so basically,
you speak about it. It's your stuff.
It's just dinner parties. Basically, I work with restaurants and we come up with dinner pairings. And these are the groups that we've worked with in the past. We've done events at Salute, Wine Room, Viva La Playa.
So now, when you say event, what?
This is more of a pairing. So we work with the chef. We figure out what kind of if we're going to do like a tequila pairing, if we're going to do a bourbon pairing. Or,
I see. You put the whole thing together.
Yep.
Together.
So we're just creating a really good experience, between the spirit, and the food. And it's been quite the experience at these events. I'm not doing any right now because of the hangar. But we're planning to redo some more events, pick it back up again during the summertime. And it's also a good way to work with a lot of these restaurants. A lot of these restaurants are very busy on the weekends, but a lot of these events that I do with iHeart Food and Wine series, they're done usually on a Monday, Tuesday. So we're doing it on an off night. We're not trying to take away from what they're doing. And it's just extra revenue for them.
You're not stepping on anybody's toes.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's revenue they wouldn't have.
Yeah.
So it's catchy name.
Yeah, it is. At first, I was like, "What the hell is this?" Because I'm reading everything about you, and I'm like, "Huh."
Yeah. So this has been.
And what's the sponsors? Is that just people that can help sponsor the company, or
right now we just have the Camden agency? But yes. Mm-hmm. So I started putting a lot of effort into this, getting this up and running. But now the hangar's around. But when we go back to off season, I'm going to start doing a series of events. We'll have sponsorship opportunities, building relationships. So if you're going to be a sponsor for iHeart, it won't just be for one event. It's going to be for a series of events. So it'll make it, worth your while as a sponsor versus just coming in one time and then hoping you can get something out of it. Because the reality is, as a sponsor, you really need to build that relationship. You need to be visible. You need to be there constantly. Be there for the second, third, fourth event. People start picking up on it. All right, I see this group all the time. I see this group, And from there, you're going to get your bang for your buck, or depending on what kind of deliverables you're letting this sponsor have.
And is there specific sponsors that you look for, or?
Yes. So I basically just try to work with groups that I feel will complement the target audience at all times.
Right.
So yeah.
So you're not going to take like a pawn shop and let them sponsor this?
No. But I mean,
it's just one match, right?
No. Yeah. The pawn shop's not going to sponsor a a hangar event.
Yeah. I'm just messing with it.
Unless you have one of those celeb hosts that they have on.
Then maybe you'll change your mind.
Yeah, then maybe. So it's all about making sure that they're matched up with the right people, the right demographics. And I've done a good over the past 6-7 years, I've done a good job of feeling out and also asking. So, I mean, I've had sponsors turn me down and tell me, "Hey, Vic, it's just not for us, not because of you. It's just the demographics aren't going to work."
Yeah.
Or sometimes I think, okay, well, yeah, but you never know. I mean, everything is like, I believe in the law of large numbers. It's just there's always opportunity.
If you don't take risk, how can you ever?
Exactly.
You never know.
Right.
And then you live your life wondering. Well, at least I would.
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100% on that.
So you take a risk. If you lose, as long as you get back up, you didn't lose.
We were very fortunate. So the Wings Wheels Fashion 2019, we were very fortunate. I think every vendor that came on board, benefited highly from the event. They all sold something. They were very happy. I've never been part of an event where everybody sold something. Usually, some people, it just happens. You're not selling whatever it is that you have. But we had people that purchased, multiple items. Vendors got to sell multiple, products, whatever they had, and it was one of those like, wow, very impressed. You definitely had the right people, the right clientele for the sponsor or the vendor to be able to get their brand across.
And it's great to be able to do something like that, and everybody's happy.
Yeah,
you're successful, but the people that are there with you, they're happy too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good thing.
That's the Orange Bowl.
You're at the Orange Bowl too?
Yeah, I mean, working at the stadium, you get the opportunity to be a part of a lot of awesome events. National championship game.
Have you been anywhere not cool?
Well, before I worked for the stadium, I think it was Michigan-Florida State game. We got there 3-4 hours before, and my buddy he's the one that got the tickets. Through a friend who was on the the Orange Bowl committee. He was like the head guy, Michigan alum. So it was Michigan versus Florida State. So we're like, all right, we get there super early. We just want to check out the stadium, and we get to this suite. We go into this suite, and it's like, I mean, the biggest suite I've ever seen in any stadium. Like it had its own elevator, a marble floor. Like it was just, I mean, it was all the specs that you'd want.
An elevator in the suite?
Oh yeah, this thing was just, or right next to the suite. It was in conjunction with it, but it was right there. So you're coming up, you're golden.
Easy.
And we're like, man, this is pretty. This can't be our suite. It's impossible, And there was like a maitre d' that was there, making sure we're all good. There was chip salsa, a refrigerator full of beer. I'm chugging down these beers like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Just putting
Remember you used to do that, right? The fucking thing. Yeah.
And then we realize, the lady comes back in and goes, can I see your passes one more time? And we're like, sure. And they went from being so hospitable, just so nice to us, to like, I don't know, it was like Exorcist. Like it just, when they realized we were in Stephen Ross's suite. Yeah,
oh,
and we didn't know. We had no idea. And when they found out that we weren't supposed to be there,
oh boy,
they're calling security. I mean, mind you, we have credentials, just not those credentials.
Yeah, But they're the ones who messed up.
Oh yeah, they're the ones that made the mistake, and now they're turning. They're turning on us.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm freaking just pounding beers. I'm like,
you're throwing the Stephen Court boy.
Yeah, before I get out, I'm gonna grab some more food here. I'm just chugging it down. I didn't want to leave. And then
before security takes you, you're gonna make sure you get everything you can.
Yeah, and then we got to our suites, and it wasn't as luxurious, but
I wouldn't think so.
No, but that suite was something else.
Yeah,
it was something else. So
see, now that's an awesome memory. You know what I mean? How cool is that?
Yeah, we were in a suite. I mean, I'll have to send you my
shit, right?
I have to send you my Snapchat. So I saved it in Snapchat. I don't really use that app, but I do have the memories of it. But that I was on there, like, look at this, like just from one end of the suite to the other end of the suite was just. I mean, you had panoramic view, complete panoramic view, like the best panoramic view of the stadium at his suite.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to send that to me.
Yeah.
And Rob, we both got to see it. We'll
and a lot of awesome, players. I remember, I forget what concert. No, I think it was a Jay-Z concert. Yeah, like old school Yankee players were there. Jeter, A-Rod, Tino Martinez.
How'd Jeter look?
He looked good.
Yeah.
He looked good. Yeah.
Now he's one I think that was all natural.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeter?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
And an actor and got every girl that he probably wanted in the planet.
Yeah. I forget what show it was. But again, we host a lot of concerts. So, Coldplay played at the stadium, Metallica was awesome. Coldplay was great. Taylor Swift was amazing. She's probably one of the best performers, in the business in terms of what you're getting out of her, the production, and she's so hands-on. She knows when they briefed us about her show, like it was like at her request, this is what she wanted. It was almost like she did her homework on the stadium and where you could be and not be and XYZ, but all the parts. She had
it like all mapped out.
Oh, she had it all mapped out. And she was that was pretty cool. I found that, me doing logistics, because that's pretty much what I do, logistics. I found that to be awesome. And
what was it that you wanted mapped out? Just people like in certain places?
Yeah,
or what?
at certain times. So she had an itinerary at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10, 11, like just all broken down for you, And so in that regard, I never got to meet her, but, she knew her shit.
You had the map.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
She was cool.
And she sings clean, right?
Yeah.
Like without anything in the background.
Yeah. And it was awesome seeing her fans. They all dressed up to like, all these little girls and their moms just dressed up in parts of videos that she's done. And it was so cool. Like
they love her.
The audience was just,
Yeah.
And they had these little watches basically that lit up during the show, and
everybody would put them up.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that at the end, Taylor Swift wanted them back basically, so you couldn't keep it. So when we're telling,
why the hell does she want them back?
I don't know, but
fuck.
But when you're telling all these kids, you got to put it back. Oh my God, kids crying and like,
sure.
And I'm like, don't blame me. I'm like, blame Tay Tay. Blame Tay Tay. Like,
wonder why she would want them back.
I don't know. But I thought that was a dick move. But the dickest move was Jay-Z and Beyonce. So when they performed, you as a staff employee at the stadium, if you can watch it, you can. You can move around and, depending on where you're at, you can catch some of the action. Or if your job entails you not to catch it, then you're not seeing anything and sucks to be you.
Yeah.
Pass, go, and don't collect 200, right?
Yeah.
So, but we couldn't watch that show. Like myself, I couldn't as a floater. I could not see it. Jay-Z and Beyonce had a clause where they specifically had security to make sure that the staff and the employee at the stadium did not watch the concert because we did not pay for the ticket. So because we didn't pay for the concert ticket, we weren't allowed to watch the show with everybody else. Yeah, total dick move. Meanwhile,
like what does it matter with you?
Meanwhile, we're doing the work. Yeah. We are doing the work. We are also part of creating the experience.
Saying you would think that they would be the first one to let you watch the show because you're doing all the legwork.
Right.
And then they're coming out and they're doing the thing. But if you don't do your legwork right, then what show do they have?
Exactly.
Fucked up, man.
Yeah. So since then.
That is the biggest dick move.
Yeah.
The ring thing's a little bit of a dick move, but that's a real dick move.
Come on. Really?
Yeah. I give Jay-Z and Beyonce the biggest dick move
of all time.
I never liked him anyway.
I didn't either.
And he just got crushed with titles, so.
Yeah.
He got his karma.
Really?
He got buried.
Oh my God! I'm so out of the loop of that.
Yeah, I just heard it on I guess it was Joe Rogan or one of those things. Yeah, he got rocked though. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. Fuck him. Karma's a bitch, right?
That's it. What else we got here, Rob?
So that's a clip from the first Wheels, Wings, and Fashion 2018.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's great how it's evolved. The fashion show portion of the event. Extremely bright white runway.
She had to be blind when she walked off of there.
Yeah.
I look at these lights and I go blind.
How many people were there about?
That year, I think just under 500.
This is Josh Cohen, isn't it?
Yes, Josh Cohen.
Yeah.
Click on that, Rob.
Josh is a fun guy. He's a fun MC. He's just an all-around great guy. He's helped me out in this business a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've sat down many times, whether it's Kachinas or just shooting on Instagram. But, I pick his brain a lot, to see what's going on. He's also a great MC. So when I'm MCing events,
Yeah.
I know for the MMA, I remember reaching out to him saying, hey, give me some pointers. I'm about to do my first match, like what do I need to look out for, X, Y, Z. And
So that's another thing. Like, you're not afraid to ask questions.
no.
Yeah. You have to. How the fuck are you?
Yeah, I don't want to look dumb.
What are you,
I don't mind asking somebody, hey, I don't know.
Yeah, what are you, psychic? There's some nice shots there.
Yeah, that was me part of the Super Bowl committee with the mascots.
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Lucky.
Yeah, I took my kids to that. That was cool.
Yeah, it was a good experience.
It was cool.
How about Brady? Best of all time, boy.
Yeah, you know what? I finally, in the beginning, I was always Montana. And I'm kind of like, if you're undefeated and you've never lost in the finals.
No, I like Joe Montana a lot, too.
Yeah. So
I like Steve Young, too.
Yeah, I like Steve Young, too. But I'm going to have to give it to Tom. I give it to Tom, especially what he did with the Bucks.
Yeah.
And how he's instrumental, how he was able to get these guys to play for him. The ones that, weren't, like Fournette.
And Gronkowski, he was done for. He got him back.
And the funny thing is that all the guys that he asked to come on board happened to be the ones that scored all the touchdowns in the game.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome. I know Antonio Brown right now is pleading to get back on the team again.
Yeah.
But even Tom Brady's chaperoning him. He lived with him.
Yeah.
Making sure
kept
he
him out of trouble.
Yeah, kept him out of trouble.
Yeah.
And you wonder how much in New England it might have been Tom Brady. People always say Belichick this, Belichick that, because they did the Patriots in the past would also pick up these troubled players and then somehow keep them in line. But I wonder if it was so much maybe Brady that was the one that really kept them in line and not Belichick.
Never thought of that because now we can see it with the Bucks.
Yeah.
He's got people around him that are always in trouble, and they didn't get in trouble when they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But all the credit back then, like you said, went to
look,
Belichick.
he had Randy Moss. Randy Moss was troubled, kept Randy Moss in check.
Yeah.
I think
I never thought about it.
The one player from Cincinnati kept him in check. I mean, there was players that would constantly come in and kept them in check. The Cleveland guy, I forget the Cleveland receiver.
Who the fuck was that?
But there was a lot.
I know who you're talking.
There's a lot of players that.
Who?
Josh Gordon.
Yeah,
Josh Gordon. Yeah.
A lot of players would come to New England and just so.
So maybe it was Brady that was kind of doing the background
and
because Belichick ain't doing so good right now.
No, and going back to the Hard Rock Stadium where when it had it was Pacific Sun Life, Joe Robbie, pro player. I was there when Michigan with Tom Brady played Alabama with Sean Alexander. And I think it was a double or triple overtime. It was for the Orange Bowl.
Wow.
And Brady won. Yeah, and I'm like, who the hell is this Tom Brady guy?
Yeah.
The man was awesome. He was awesome. Sean Alexander rushed for 300 yards that day, but it was amazing. But who would have thought that guy, in his story, he was the backup also. I forget who the quarterback was that went down, and then he took over.
It was. I remember I used to buy his rookie card.
Gerback was a Gerback, right?
Yeah, and then he went down, and then Brady went down. Yeah.
And then the same thing, with the Patriots. Bledsoe.
Drew
so
Bledsoe.
All timing, and he comes in, and he's a winner. I have to admit, I'm a Giants fan.
Yeah.
Why did we put him on this show?
Yeah, but
Eagles, baby. Eagles.
I won't make it about them, but But for someone with his ability and the way that he's done it at his age, which is very impressive.
The bullets that he was throwing in that fourth quarter, they were bullets.
Yeah.
At his age.
Yep.
And like we've talked before about it. I've never seen him get hit more in his career than he did this year.
Yeah.
I mean, he
took some shots.
He took some shots. And at the Super Bowl,
well, the question will be next year. Now he was even said after the Super Bowl was over that he was going to start training and taking this year even all his ethics, just taking it to the next level.
Yeah,
was making it that much more. Just trying to improve a lot more. And I was like, damn, this guy is what else do you need to prove, Tom? You don't need to work on the off season so early.
Yeah.
You can come in July, but now no, he's training
got
now.
that competitive drive.
We'll see how long that arm strength can go. I mean, he's 43. I mean, you started seeing the digression with Drew Brees.
Yeah.
He digressed a lot.
Yeah, I can see
so maybe Tom has another 2 years.
I don't know about 2.
No.
Well, it depends on if he gets hit.
I had a feeling they were going to win the Super Bowl. When they got baptized by the Saints. When they got baptized, that game was over.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, all right. They just still because they were working Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
You know, he had all the other receivers open, but he just constantly kept going Antonio Brown. I get it. You got to get this guy in the game. He's an awesome talent.
Yeah, and we're not playing preseason
Right.
now.
So I thought that if this team could just, once they got into rhythm and they found themselves, you know, that who was going to beat them? I mean, you've got Mike Evans, you've got what's the other?
Gronkowski, Antonio Brown,
and then the other receiver, Godwin, yeah. You have Godwin. I mean, really? And then you have Ronald Jones and Fournette. I mean, who's going to stop that? You know, yeah, Kansas City was great, but they really just had two fast players. You had Mahomes and you had Tyreek Hill and Kelsey.
And Kelsey, yeah.
You know, but you take away those two guys, you know.
And they were just outmatched. They were just outmatched.
I mean, I think this year with the talent they have, if they sign everybody, I mean, I can't see why they can't repeat.
I think Brady can do 2 years if they give him a better line.
Yes.
If he gets hit again this coming year like he did last year, there's no way he can do 2 more years. But if they get him another guy on the right, another guy on the left, because that's where they're coming from. And like good people, fuck the salary cap, just pay it. You got Tom Brady, you already give him $40 million a year. If they can protect him where he's not getting hit much, I think he can do 2 more years easy. And probably win both of them.
You probably could.
But if he takes a beating like he did this year, I don't know. Father time gets you eventually. You know what I mean?
I agree. At that age, who wants to get hit?
Yeah.
Seriously.
But I do think Mahomes, he might be the next one.
He's talented. Just what he does on the field. I mean, he looks like Picasso out there. Like, it's just.
I don't see any. I mean, who else is close?
Nobody.
Like, you got Brady, you got Mahomes. Who else? Okay, I mean, Rodgers, he's good, but he's got that bullshit coach that won't let him call any plays.
Right. I love Rodgers, but yeah, you're right.
But they won't let him call plays.
Russell Wilson wasn't bad. But,
no, but he doesn't have a team around him.
Right.
But Rodgers would be something to deal with, but that coach won't let him call audibles.
True.
What an asshole.
Yeah, he's definitely handcuffed.
How do you tell Aaron Rodgers you can't call audibles?
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the coach blew the game on that playoff game. Just you got him throwing the ball.
You have Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. You're not going to take a shot. You kick a field goal?
And the problem with your Giants is they held on to that schmuck for too long.
Which one?
He was a quarterback to
Eli Manning.
Well, Schmuck gave us 2 rings.
Yeah, but then, okay, he gave you 2 rings, then he gave you 5
Partially because of the defense, too.
Yeah.
And the stick-em game with the hand of the helmet.
Yeah, well.
I don't like when they got rid of the coach, though. I liked him.
Yeah, Coughlin.
The old man, I like Coughlin.
Yeah, Coughlin was good. I loved his militant attitude.
I did, too. Yeah. I liked how tough he was.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they held on to Eli a little bit too long.
Yeah, they did. But again, I mean, it's how do you,
Like you said.
He had 2 rings. I mean, how much,
Yeah, I give him the 2 rings. But I think Father Time hit him and they kept him.
Yep.
And it was just time for him to go.
It was painful to watch.
Yeah, that's
very
what I
painful.
mean.
You saw things coming before it happened. Like, you knew he was going to fumble, and then he fumbled.
Yeah. You knew he was going to
throw a pick when he rolled it out. It just did.
And you knew he was going to step back too slow and get hit and sacked, and you knew he was going to probably drop the ball or be like 3rd and
then when you want to take him to the woodshed and treat him like Yeller, then all of a sudden he starts throwing like Rocket Man and makes it happen. Like, okay, well, maybe he still has something in him. He can still do it. Yeah,
so he would give you those brinks of moments. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's a huge Eagles fan. We're both from up north.
Hey, listen, we have something in common. We were the teams to beat Tom Brady.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
What are the Eagles doing with their quarterback?
They are going to be probably the worst in the NFC East next year. They just got rid of Wentz, and I like Jalen Hurts. I'll give him a chance.
Yeah, I like Jalen Hurts too.
You got to give a guy a chance, right?
He just needs time.
Never know what he can do.
It's a tough division.
Yeah.
I mean, it was painful. The NFC East. That was a tough. I mean, for years we were the dominant conference.
Yeah.
In the '80s, early '90s, dominant. It was always like one of those teams was going to get out.
Yeah.
And win the Super Bowl.
There's a lot.
Now it's just we're a joke.
Chicago will look pretty good too, though.
Yeah.
Chicago looked decent.
They just need better quarterback play.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good teams, but I don't think anybody's going to beat Brady.
No.
Not yet.
Not at all. And there I am, walkie-talkie and all.
Man, I'd have this framed.
It's a great pick. Yeah, it was part of the props that we had for the the Super Bowl experience.
Took my kids down there. I remember that.
Yeah, it's a
You
good
took
one.
your kids down there?
Yeah, it's cool. It was awesome. We had a fun time.
What it's all lit up and everything,
Yeah,
right?
you had the inside thing they had inside where you threw like a ball and he ran a 40-yard dash, and this was outside. They had all like vendors
That's
out there,
cool.
with
Yeah.
stone crabs and everything.
Yep.
Everything. It's cool.
They did
And
a
now,
great
and now
job.
what? You're down there. You're down there, just making sure everything's going right.
Mm-hmm. Making sure we had like 7 different zones, making sure everything was run efficiently.
Wow, that's something to be proud of, man.
Thank you.
There's Sean Reb. What's up, buddy? Okay, go over to his Wheels in Fashion. Actually, go down a little bit more. That go down. Where's that one at there? Above.
That was also just hanging out at the
I was trying to.
Super Bowl headquarters.
That was Super Bowl headquarters too.
That was a fashion show that we did at the Atlantic Hotel in Fort Lauderdale.
That's awesome, man.
It's a lot of fun working with models, and at the same time, you got to be the sponge to hold it all together.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
tons of it.
Park City Mountain Resort. Yep. That reminds me of being up north again. Going skiing all the time.
Yeah, that was when I was emceeing.
That's awesome. Got the Gucci sneakers on.
Yeah,
And go to the Wheels, Wings, and Fashion Instagram again. We got Ferrari there. What do they truck all these in?
no, some of them, not all of them.
That's a Bugatti. That's what,
Mm-hmm.
2 million, 3 million. Who the hell owns that?
A rich motherfucker.
Well, I know that, but well, whoever owns it is a rich motherfucker.
All right.
Would you draw 2 million on a Bugatti?
No.
If you were going to go buy a car for 2 million, would you pick that car?
At 2 mil? Yeah. Yeah. It's Bugatti.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
No.
Yeah.
I get a Lamborghini for sure. Because I had 2 Gallardos, so like I really like Lamborghinis.
Okay.
I would get a Aventador.
Yes. You can never go wrong with
I
that.
would get that. I would get a Rolls Royce, but not the big long grandpa one. And then I would get a Bentley Continental GT, which I had a white one of those too. That would be my 3, and then I get a motorcycle,
There
which
you
would
go.
probably not be good for me to get on.
Yeah.
It'd probably be a very dangerous.
as your
thing.
life insurance agent, I would instruct you not to.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit
Or
crazy.
make me your beneficiary.
Yeah. So this is just hypothetical talk because I don't think a motorcycle would suit me very well. Okay, so here's the Wheels, Wings, and Fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Buy them tickets. There's not many left.
Right. We're
So
over
we have-
80% sold out.
Yeah, so get it now.
Yeah, it will sell out. It's going to be an expected sellout.
Yep.
Like I said, it's an open bar. Plus, we have a lot of restaurant vendors as well.
And it's Saturday 6 to 10, so you can go out with your girl. You can do whatever. I mean,
It's perfect date night.
perfect date night. Couple $200.
Yep.
Shit, that's not bad.
Not bad at all. Well, we set it up that way so that you're more enticed to get the.
Well, you're you're saving $50
Yeah.
to get the couple package.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
I
like
get
it's
the couple.
10.
Exactly.
It's not like it's some stupid $10.
Yeah.
Buy
I see
2,
that.
save $10.
I'm buying and just I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
It's a great ticket.
And early bird that's ended.
Mm-hmm.
All gone.
Yeah, we were very fortunate. Again, 2019 we had to cancel the event. Or excuse me, 2020 we canceled the event, and then from there we did an early bird. Then this is the early bird for this year, but we did an early bird in 2019 for 20, and we were able to sell a lot of tickets. So we did that to see, if people really liked what we were doing. Because if we sold a good amount, then that shows, okay, we're doing something good. I mean, it's a hangar event, so naturally you would think, but test the waters and see. And, to what we thought would happen, we sold a lot of, early bird tickets from the year before, which we honored, basically like anybody that gives credits. So we gave credit to everybody and also sponsors as well. We had sponsors for the 220 and said, hey, if you guys, if you don't want to be a sponsor, then completely understand. Then we refund. But luckily, everybody stayed on board. likewise with the tickets. So that rolled over, and then on top of what we've sold, this year, and the new sponsors that we've acquired, we've got something pretty good. It's going to be very entertaining. I got to tell you.
And if you go, you get to meet Victor. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
And then go to the car one. You took it down. Vic, what's the one with the car?
Let's see here.
I thought we had another window open. Maybe I'm seeing things.
That was Steve Aoki shut down the cake guy.
Oh, all right. Well, get those tickets. They're going.
They're going to the hotcakes.
And I think it'd be a great event to take anybody to, just to hang out with.
It's going to be an amazing event. This is going to be the best Wheels, Wings, and Fashion yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is going to be one people are
and
going to be talking about. And
I think people are going to enjoy it so much because they get out, they can do things.
Very outdoors.
Yeah.
Again, at 375, we're very blessed to have that many people. But it's not going to look like it's that packed of a place, in comparison to the size of the venue that we have.
Yeah, it's going to look like nobody's there.
This looks like nobody's there, but you know what? It's going to be a great experience. It's going to be so much fun. I mean, everything that we have planned, the activations that we have, and the groups that we have on board. This is going to be people are going to talk about this, and. If you're not attending the event, then let's hope that, you've got some good friends that are willing to put it on social media and you can live vicariously through them,
Yeah, I'm going to go.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
No.
Yeah.
Like I said, and again, it's perfect timing. Anybody watching this?
And,
6 to 10 is a perfect time.
And again, it's a nonprofit event, so we're helping out some good causes. So you're partying for a purpose.
And you're helping people out.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Win-win situation.
Yeah, you can't lose. You really cannot lose. It's a great event. It's a good coming together of a lot of people, and then for us who are putting it together, it's been quite a journey from not being able to have something happen to then maybe thinking, okay, well, will we be able to do it? To now it's going to happen. And now it's really happening. Get very excited because it's going to be something else. So as you can see, I'm already getting ready.
Yeah,
Let's get ready to rumble.
Congratulations on everything.
Appreciate it.
I'm proud of what I see. I'm really proud of you. I mean, this is the things that you've accomplished is crazy. And you just came up from West Palm, went to college, and boom.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do this many things.
And it was crazy. I was throwing parties at FSU with my fraternity. And I think I was social chair. And I think they tried to make a rule where I think I was like the treasurer or assistant, or I was a chaplain at the time, but they made it to where I was still the social chair because they didn't want anyone else throwing parties.
Fucking crazy.
So I was the social chair for I think 2 years, and I think normally you can only do it for one, but they wanted me back so bad, so we did it for 2, and we had some pretty we had some good memories.
What do we
some
say?
Crazy stories.
What do we say, Rob? Charlie Sheen. Winning.
But yeah, it was it was some good times then, and I was able to, I never realized I'd continue to do it.
It's just crazy that over that one fashion show that you did with the 300 people, that pretty much led to all this.
Yep. It's amazing when you look back. It's pretty.
It's got to blow your mind.
It's been a lot of timing, and then of course being able to capture the moment and do what you can. So. I've been very, very blessed. That's for sure.
Yes, you have. And thank you so much.
Being good to people. That's a key. You got to be good to people. You got to be,
because like you said, with the networking, if you're a dick, how are you going to network with anybody?
Exactly.
You never know who you're going to run into.
Mm-hmm.
I like what you said though, and I want to. You always judge somebody wide open. No matter what you hear, you start 0-0 and then make your own opinion. I like that. I think that's really good.
Got to.
I'll let you get out of here.
All right, my man. I can't wait to see you next Saturday.
I'll be there.
It's going to be a good one.
Give me a guarantee you'll be back.
Hell yeah, I will be back.
All right.
100%. We can do a post show.
All right. Hey, he gave me his word.
If you smell what the rock is cooking.
And he gave me his word.